And welcome back out to Turner Stadium and this evening's Texan Live coverage of the Kingwood Park Panthers taking on the Magnolia Bulldogs. And just like you mentioned about the nose tackle for Magnolia, 9 sacks last year, putting on that number one. I kind of like to see that out of DT. That's a little bit of a different feeling right there.
I don't want to give a J.J. Watt type reference, but that kid, 9 sacks from a nose guard position. It's gonna as the season progressed, it took 2 and 3 offensive linemen to move this kid off his spot. You're also looking at Magnolia and Hunter Crochet, who is an outstanding, led the team tackles last year, and he's the team captain as they're walking out. Magnolia's star wide receiver and one of their better offensive weapons this year got an ACL injury. Cole McGowan, who had 32 receptions and 539 yards, and unfortunately is out for Magnolia for the whole season with an ACL. We'll see how their offense bounces from that, considering the kind of weapon that he was.
It's always tough to do. You know, when you get a key player hurt like that, especially during spring, it's never easy to go through. I know you had a little bit more time. At least it wasn't in 2 days, or at least it wasn't last week. But anytime you lose a key critical player like that, it's always tough to replace.
Well, you have sophomore Reese Mason, who looks to be able to I don't know if you can say slide in there, but maybe take up some of those receptions. I look for this year also Magnolia to be able to run the football with Anthony Johnson.
Well, definitely looking forward to a good game tonight. Magnolia Bulldogs will be receiving. Kingwood Park coming in to kick it off. Looks like number 19. Oh, maybe not. I'm trying to see the kicker down there. They kind of all bunched together at one time. Check that number 9. Matthew Flaherty going to do the kicking for the Panthers. And back deep to return for the Bulldogs, number 5, Anthony Johnson, and number 9, Jacob Frazier.
Now this year's a new rule that they have to every on the kickoff, every player has to be behind the 35-yard line. So this is a new rule of this year, this year alone. So let's see how the kickoff team relates to that. There you go. Oop. Look at that. Try to fake him out a little bit there.
Tried to fake an onside
forward.
kick right there.
Looked like it almost got Magnolia offsides, but they were very well disciplined in that. They line up. Everybody's foot's got to be on the line like they are right there. They look like they're well coached. Maple's done a good job, at least on the kickoff, we'll say.
And we're underway. Here's the kick from Flaherty. It's a good one. This will be fielded at about the 5-yard line. Across the 15 to the 20, he cuts a hole, and he'll be brought down about the 27-yard line. Looks like number 30, Logan Bartholomew, on the tackle.
And that was returned by the senior Ridge Mason. Filling it fairly deep and bringing it up pretty strong.
Nice return, nice moves right there. And looks like they'll have it 1st and 10. Bulldogs have it 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line.
Now, Magnolia returns 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen.
They got some good-sized linemen right there.
Spread 3 out. That's 5 wide receivers. Nobody in the backfield. Out there, pass a little on the short side.
Intended for number 5, Anthony Johnson, incomplete. So that'll bring up 2nd down. Just over the top of Johnson's head.
Now they're going with no huddle right here. They still have their 5. They still have the 5. The 3. There'll be 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And there's 5 wide receivers. There's nobody in the backfield.
It's an interesting look to start the game right here with nobody in the backfield at all, like you said. But playing press on one side too. And looks like we're going to get maybe a flag right there. One of the guys jumped, but I guess they're going to say they didn't start the play clock. Maybe. So they're going to restart the play clock right there.
Kingwood Park's running that 4-3. They're spidering out. Oop. There you go. That was it.
Pass complete to number 2, Reese Mason right there. He'll pick up 6 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Now it looks like Reese Mason so far, that's 2 balls thrown towards him early.
Playing out of that outside receiver right there.
Now this is the first play that they're running from the it's a third and short situation here. They're going to try to get the ball in the middle.
Here's the snap. This one's going to get dumped off, but dropped tried for a little running back screen right there. Number 5, Anthony Johnson, the intended receiver. But that'll bring up 4th down, and the Bulldogs be forced to punt.
It looked like the Magnolia was trying to go with a hurry-up type offense, but they couldn't get any of the receptions to come through.
And going back deep to return the kick for the Panthers, number 88, Zach Mills.
Well, let's see how this should be an interesting matchup with Kingwood Park's offense and Magnolia's defense.
Good snap right there. The kick's up, but this one's going to be short and
chance.
sail out of bounds. It'll go out of bounds right there about the
Flag on the field
44-yard line. And, yeah, we definitely have a flag on the field. Maybe looked like a personal foul or block in the back right there.
I was going to say this.
Thrown close to the line of scrimmage as well. So we'll check the flag right here.
Let's see what referee calls on this one.
And he's going to call a chop block against the Panthers. Had to move the ball 10 yards back from the spot of the foul, but it'd still be 1st and 10. Or check that to be 10 yards back from where the kick went out of bounds. And you can see big old number 1, Spencer Nye, out there ready to get started. This Bulldog defense ready to go.
Now on this, Magnolia they're stacked at every position. If you at every level, you look at the nose guard position on there with Spencer Nye. You go to the second level, the outside linebacker. You have Hunter Crochet, and in their secondary with Drew Hainletty and Mike Garnett.
Purcell shotgun formation. Hurds is running back to his left side. Wide receiver in motion. Here's a give up the middle to Hurd. He'll get across the 40-yard line, and that'll be good for a Panther 1st down, picking up about 13 yards on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line as Panthers will move the chains, and they're not wasting any time. No huddle, trying to get that offense going.
They're going right to the outside, keep running away from Nye, which is probably a smart idea because there you go with a big gain right there on your first play from scrimmage.
You see a little bit of that 3-4 look. It looks like the Bulldogs are trying to line up in. Like you said, Nye at that nose guard position, playing head up with the center right there. And again, Purcell shotgun formation, running back to his right side. Here's the snap up the middle again. He runs into his offensive line right there, and that'll be dropped for 2 yards.
That was one of those plays where Nye pushes that center right back into the running play. There was no hole there because Nye right there on that play covers it up. Pushed him right back into the hole. They're going to have to get two, 3 guys on him if they're going to try to run up the middle.
The 2nd and 13 for the Panthers. Another wide receiver in motion. This will be a reverse to number 2, Reyna, and he's across the 50-yard line, right down there at the 50-yard line. That'll pick up about 8 yards, or 9 yards, excuse me.
And there we go with Matthew Reyna right there. He's going to be your outside offense there. They're going to have believe right at now they may have a hard time running up the middle, but they are having no trouble at all getting on the outside.
And referees will stop the clock right here. Look like we may have had a little play clock trouble. I saw the referee kind of winding his arm, trying to get the clock to go, and now he's going to speak to one of the K-Park coaches, trying to maybe communicate through that headset, talk what's going on.
Coach Maples there he's talking to.
K-Park will have it 3rd down, 4 yards to go on the 44-yard line. Just underway here in the first quarter.
You got everybody covered. You got one deep safety on that. You have actually 5 DBs on the field. 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and almost uncovered.
And here's a pass complete. That one's to Reyna, and that'll be good for a 1st down.
I think you're going to see that all day long.
As he keeps impressing right there. And on 3rd down, a nice conversion right there for the Panthers. Brought down by number 25, Hayden Willis, for the Bulldogs.
That's one of the ways that you're going to negate that pressure from that Magnolia defense is quick outs, quick outs, quick outs. And that's what K-Park, exactly what they're doing right here.
Be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from the 44-yard line. And Purcell out of the pocket. Another pass complete to Reyna. This one over the middle, and he'll be dropped down at the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 7, Bring up 2nd down and 3 as that high-powered, fast-paced offense continues to roll.
You look at what K-Park right now is doing to try to stop the defensive line pressure. Again, I keep focusing on Nye because he's a big force. 3 guys on him now. And out. Look at that.
This pass complete to number 49. He sheds a tackle across the 15-yard line. He'll go down at the 13, and the Panthers are in red zone territory now. A nice pass complete to number 49, Garrett Sweeney on that play. Kind of just broke a tackle, shook off a defender, and got past.
That was all power right there on that. That was all him. Good job, Garrett Sweeney. They're out.
This pass complete, number 88, but you'll have some dirty laundry on the field. Number 88, Zach Mills on the catch. But flags down in the backfield. This one's probably coming back right here. Looked like maybe a hold or.
It's in that area of the hold.
Yep, and it is going to go holding against the Panthers right there. I had to move it 10 yards back and bring up 1st down and 20 now.
Now, I would tell you, Forrest, right now, I'm the pace that K-Park is moving the ball at is absolutely negating the pressure that Magnolia can put on him.
And Nye cannot get anything done up the middle. I mean, you saw him one time push that center or that left guard back, but that was about it. And since then, they've shut him down. So
they shelved that play. They shelved that play right there, and they haven't gone back to it. There's another one there.
And flags are going to fly prior to a snap. This one going to go false start against the Panthers. Had to move the ball 5 yards back again, and back-to-back mistakes right there from the Panthers.
You know, I will say this again. You got to remember that this is the first game of the season. A lot of these guys, they're still learning all their playbooks. You got juniors and sophomores and seniors in those. This is an all-new system. Again, it's a Clayton Maples system. So you got some movement maybe sometimes in places that they shouldn't be. Where they're still learning the playbook.
Other wide receiver in motion. This will be a give to Reyna.
Reyna again.
And he may pick up a yard right there, if even that. As he gets about to the 31-yard line. Good pressure right there to the outside as he tried to escape to the right side there. No avail. That'll bring up 2nd and long after 2 Kingwood Park penalties. One back, shotgun formation. Purcell being blitzed, but he gets this off. Number 31 hurt on the reception. He's across the 20-yard line down to around the 17.
Now, that's the first time we've heard his name called right there. And Aaron Hurd is one of their power backs. That was actually a good call there. Mix that up a little bit.
As you saw, Nye got pressure that time. He almost had him down, but Purcell just able to dump that ball off to his running back and escape right there. So it'll be 3rd down and 13. Here's a snap. And this one's going to go Reyna, sail right over his head for 4th down. But Panthers in field goal range, so we'll see number 9, Matthew Flaherty, come out to attempt around 33-yard field goal.
I'm not going to say that everything that they're doing at K-Park right now is centered around Nye, but he is the one he's the disruptor. And all their snaps are coming from shotgun formation.
And they'll stop the clock before the play, reset it to 4th down. The referee didn't have the right number up, but it got that right set now, and it'll be 4th down. It'll be a 22-yard field goal try right here for Flaherty. Snap is down. It's fumbled.
Bobbled right there. Oh, he's got nowhere to go.
And they're going to actually dump that ball off. Number 30, Bartholomew on the reception for a Panthers touchdown. And a bad snap goes right. As what a play right there by number 33, Chase Firm, the holder for the Bulldogs.
That was
for
not by
the
design.
Panthers. Not by design at all, but hey, whatever works right there.
And that's.
And that touchdown, of course, brought to you by Allspall's Ace Hardware.
No, that's one of those. It's basically fire on those plays. And what happens?
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique featuring the.
And here's Flaherty in for the PAT. Snaps down, kick is up, and good. So with 7:41 remaining in the first quarter, Panthers out to an early 7-0 lead. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond on TexanLive.com.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Forrest Cox, Chance Bond here for the Kingwood Park Magnolia Bulldog game. Panthers taking early 7-0 advantage on a kind of a broken field goal play, but whatever gets the job done.
You know, for everything that the penalties that they gave themselves and putting themselves in the hole, and here they go again with that.
Interesting kickoff formation. That's a little different right there, but you never know when an onside kick could be coming.
You have to be ready for that every time. It keeps Magnolia on their heels, or toes at least, instead of back on their heels.
So Flaherty once again in to kick it off for the Panthers. Same guys back deep. Number 5, Johnson. Number 9, Frazier for the Bulldogs. Flaherty sets, and here's a kick. It's a good one downfield. Be fielded around the 10-yard line, across the 15, the 20, and a good move right there to shed a blocker, and he'll be brought down at about the 26-yard line.
And another
solid return, though, right there.
Another good return. Now let's see if Magnolia can get anything going here on offense. I'm looking for, as far as Magnolia offense, I'm looking for Reese Mason maybe to make it number 2. Reese Mason, he's a sophomore, but everything I've seen him in scrimmages and things like that, he looks like he's going to be somebody that they might want to try. He's if you look at your screen, he's at the bottom of your screen there. One-on-one, I might look for them to go that way.
So Frazier going to hand off, and a nice move right there. Number 5, Johnson may take this one to the house, but no, he's going to be forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line. He kind of cut that to the ends or to the outside right there and broke away for a long run. And with one play, the Bulldogs are already in Panthers territory. Be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Now, Anthony Johnson was another guy that we tried to highlight at the beginning of the game, saying that it was potential offense for Magnolia. They go to him right there, and they get a big gain out of him.
And the no-huddle, fast-paced offense. Another give to Johnson. Nope.
Oh, that's a
keeper. Quarterback's going to pull that, and he'll lose 2 yards. Number 42, Dustin Harris on the stop for the Panthers, and that'll bring up 2nd down. But just like you said, Johnson's going to be their go-to guy.
For running the football, yeah, they're going to go to Johnson, and in passing situations, I think Mason's going to be their primary target. They go to Johnson again.
This one's going to be cut across the 30, and a nice hit right there. The ball's loose and recovered by the Panthers. Number 42, another solid play from Dustin Harris. As Johnson just caught, he took a good shot right there.
That was a big hit.
And that's what you need. That's a key play to start this game off right.
And I'll tell you what, Kingwood Park is opportunistic. They've made some mistakes, but they get themselves in situations, and they're very opportunistic. It looked like could be another big gain. The second play of the drive here goes big by Johnson. Kingwood Park regathers themselves, makes a big play. It was a big hit also. Johnson got loose of that ball, but he was headed for a big gain. Good job on Kingwood Park getting loose of that ball.
Number 42, Dustin Harris on the play for the Panthers. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 30-yard line. Purcell once again shotgun formation. Here's a snap. The give to number 31, Hurd. He's
Look
across.
At that Bulldog go.
And he also coughs that ball up right there. We'll see who recovers it. It looks like Kingwood Park is going to stay on top of that as Hurd picked up his own fumble.
Now who's around that ball there? 9 right there.
And definitely you find the playmaker in there. He finds a way to get to the ball. We're going to be calling his name a lot tonight.
Yes, we are.
But Hurd picks up 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Now he's a ramrod in there. A little movement here.
And he moved out to end now on this play. He's not at the nose guard position. He's out on the left side.
There you go, trying to get some pressure from the outside there. they're trying to funnel everything. Now he's trying to get to the outside to try to get the speed to come that way. They're still going away from him though.
And there's
Look
a
at that
snap.
pressure. There's some good
Pressure. They're
pressure.
going to
He's
throw
got-
this
yeah,
one up,
gotta
and
get it.
a smart move right there by Purcell, just getting the ball out of bounds, and that'll be third. They're going to throw a flag down there. They may call intentional grounding on this play. I think the referees are going to get together and discuss it. He may have been out of the pocket. He may not have been. It was an awful close call right there, but definitely nobody in the area.
Not for where he's throwing the football. I think he was outside the tackle box, but
Unless they may call a – I didn't see anything else. Maybe a legal receiver downfield right there.
that was set up as a screen. They couldn't get that screen to materialize. And that's pretty often when offensive linemen, they don't wear rear view mirrors on their helmets. So a lot of times when they go, that 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000 go, that play doesn't develop the way they need it to, and they're already down the field.
Call going to go number 72, Sam Golston for the Panthers. That'll move the ball 5 yards back. They're going to keep it as second down. Kingwood Park already their third penalty committed in the first 7 minutes of this ball game. But new running back number 23, Richard Corsi, checking into the game for the Panthers, giving Hurd a break. Here's a snap, Corsi up the middle. And he's going to keep fighting his way for about a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Panthers.
Now I'm telling you, where did they go? They went as soon as Nye vacates that middle, they go right to the middle. Now Nye's right down the middle. Everything is keyed off of him. All the offense that Kingwood Park is running is based off of where Nye's at. They'll go to the outside here.
Smart game plan right there from Coach Maple. Maybe look for this ball to come in Rayna's direction. Here's the snap. Hurd looking downfield. Nobody open. He's going to keep this one himself, and a wide open hole across the 45 to the 50, and finally forced out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A nice run right there from Zach Purcell, picking up the first down and more.
Now Purcell's not necessarily a running. He's more of a pocket quarterback, but that was a very smart move on his part. He had plenty of alley in there. Picked up a big gain right there. Good job, Purcell.
It'd be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Hurd checking back in the game at running back. 1st and 10. Purcell staying in the shotgun formation. Rayna in motion. Here's the snap. This one's going to go straight up the middle to Hurd, and he's got a huge hole. This will be another first down and more. Gain of about 20 yards on that play. And another nice run from Aaron Hurd right there.
Now I want to tell you this. I am at this point pretty impressed with Kingwood Park's offense. That defense of Magnolia is no slouch defense right there, my friends.
And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Another receiver in motion. This one will go up the middle again to Hurd, and he's got another huge hole.
Man, that kid can take a hit.
And that'll be a gain of 9 yards this time, as number 34, James Rodriguez, making this stop for the Bulldogs. And it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Panthers.
Get yourself a drink of water, Hurd. Good work for you, man. Good work for you.
As Hurd keeps those – he's not a very big guy.
He's not a very big guy.
But he finds a way to break the tackle, and he can cut that hole really well.
He is a monster. He hits.
It looks like we may have an injury timeout.
Equipment, face mask. You got to come out on those.
You got to come out for that play. We're going to consider this timeout. Of course, all timeouts tonight brought to you by Tin Roof Barbecue. Visit them in their Tascasita location or www.tinroofbarbecueandsteaks.com or call 281-852-5577. And it's actually going to be a timeout. Panthers right there. We're going to go to commercial, guys. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond on TexanLive.com.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Kingwood Park Panthers versus the Magnolia Bulldogs. Panthers up 7-0, 4:18 remaining in the first quarter. They have the ball at the 24-yard line.
Right, so you got Nye. There's 2 men on Nye right there. There you go. Out. Nice
And a
catch.
fine catch.
Nice catch.
As Purcell threw an absolute laser right there to Zach Mills, and he went up and got that ball for another Panther first down.
Good job there, senior Zach Mills. Good job. Way to get the job done there. And that was actually good coverage, too.
Great. He was stuck on him like glue, but
That
you
height,
know,
that height right there.
Mills is a big old boy, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Purcell once again in the shotgun, and they may have got almost got nine offsides. This one's going to be intended for Reyna and just sail over the top of his head in the end zone. Reyna, not a very big guy. Maybe if that was to Mills, it may have been a touchdown, but that's all right. Only just first down right there, so that'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, Magnolia, they're covering them. A team that is executing their offense is beating a team that is executing their defense. Magnolia's not playing bad.
Reyna once again in motion. This one will go to Hurd, and he'll pick up about 2 yards on that play, maybe a yard, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 9 as the clock continues to run in the first corner. And Kingwood Park keeps this no-huddle, fast-paced offense going. As we're going to go twins formation, 2 receivers on each side, 1 man in the backfield. That's Hurd. Purcell in shotgun formation.
Now they're keeping that one backfield, one in the back. There, it's in there for right there.
You get a little bubble screen right there, but a nice play coming up. Number 3, Bobby Baker making the play for the Bulldogs, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Flaherty will come in to try a field goal. And great coverage right there, and great job coming up right there by Baker to make that stop. As if he would have gotten past Baker right there was nobody else. Nobody else even close.
Notice on their deal, on that. Purcell, sorry, Hurd stays in to block, and who's he blocking?
He was blocking Nye on that play. You're exactly right. Nye's a force to be reckoned with on this defense. And just like you said, Chance, everything is based off him. Everything the Panthers are doing. So
if he goes in, they go out. If he goes out, they go in.
And flags are going to fly prior to the snap, as that was actually a bad snap. So maybe luck right there for the Panthers. That snap was in the dirt.
Maybe that is designed.
But that's going to be a delay of game call. That'll move the ball back 5 yards. Not really a huge deal right there. But
I'm telling you, the long snap in that football is a very difficult job.
There's no doubt about that. Not an easy task.
And you're still in early season form here. That's a tough gig.
I mean, a lot of people realize this is only the 3rd week these guys have been practicing now. That may sound like a lot of time, but when you're trying to get used to a new coach, snaps down, the kick is up, and waiting on a call from the officials. It's going to go wide left. You couldn't exactly tell from up here.
No, it looked good from
But we got another flag down in the backfield, and they're actually going to go false start against the Panthers. Flag came in awful late after the kick sailed up. So the Panthers will get another try right there.
You know, the Panthers, they keep making the penalty mistakes.
It's already their 6th one of the night right there.
They're executing their offense, but they're hurting themselves in penalties.
And this is going to be the 3rd field goal try for number 9, Flaherty. 2:36 remaining in the first quarter. Snaps down. Here's the kick. It is up, and this one's good.
Another rough snap.
Another rough snap, but hey, could that have been a design play too right there?
I was an offensive lineman in high school myself. I was a center. I refused to long snap. It's a very difficult job.
There's no doubt about that, especially, some of these high school teams, you have guys that are just long snappers. But other teams, you may have guys that are playing other positions. Well, when you're trying to learn an offensive system, it's not easy trying to do 2 things at one time right there.
No, so that kid is saying he's doing a heck of a job. It is a tough task.
Folks, we're going to take this quick moment. First quarter going to be brought to you by TexanLive.com. Head on over to the Texan dealerships located on Will Clayton and 59 for great deals and specials on new and pre-owned vehicles. Go in and ask for the head coach, Burt Brocker, or shop Texan Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram 24/7. Online at www.texandrive.com, where we always treat you better. And Kingwood Park got to be feeling pretty good as they're up early 10-0, 2:31 remaining in the first quarter, and you got to be impressed with the way their offense has been playing. You've had some mistakes, you've had some penalties, but you've been able to overcome those.
Well, it's a 10-0 lead right now, and there you go there with that
Different formation. I
Different
really don't know
formation.
what to call that, but hey,
We'll figure
I
it-
wouldn't be surprised to see an
If it-
onside kick before the end of the night.
And that's what they're setting up for. But Kingwood Park is making their plays, and then they're making mistakes. They're making their plays, and then they're making the mistakes.
And here's a kick by Flaherty. He'll sail, be fielded at the 5-yard line. Number 8, Woods on the carry. He's across the 15-yard line, down at about the 19-yard line, and the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 in an early hole.
There's an opportunity on those kickoffs. That kid's could break one here.
He's gotten away from the defenders a couple times. You know, you want to see everybody break into a wedge. Well, it kind of seems like some guys aren't staying in their lanes right here, and you know they've already got guys out of position. And he may break, like you said, he may break one before the end of the night.
He looks like, I mean, that's possible.
He's got speed.
He's got some speed. He's making the first person miss. So that's on it. We got 2 wide here. We got one in the backfield.
Snap to
Tight end,
Frazier is
snap was down.
fumbled. And he'll be sacked
that'll
in the
be sacked.
backfield. Number
See that?
44, Xavier Renew on the play for the Panthers, and that'll be a big loss right there for the Bulldogs.
Again, we're hitting on that. It was a shotgun. We're hitting on that same thing about that long snapping early in the season. It's tougher than people think.
Interesting how both teams are already in the shotgun formation. You know, both teams kind of like to spread it out as you got 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side, 1 man in the backfield. Here's the snap. Looking downfield, dump off pass. Number 28, Lance Lowry on the reception for the Bulldogs. He'll pick up about 2 yards.
Now, Magnolia in a lot of these situations, they're trying to generate their offense. Now you never know in situations where you have Anthony Johnson, he fumbles the football. He's not in the game right now. Where does that lead? What's that situation?
And here's a snap. Looking downfield, another great pressure
Look
right
at
there
that
from the
pressure.
Bulldogs. Number 13 going to sack him again. Dominic Kelly on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, is Anthony Johnson hurt, or is Anthony Johnson
I
on
couldn't
the
tell
sidelines?
down there.
I can't see now because he hasn't been in the game. And I'm looking on the sidelines to see if I see him somewhere.
I see him down there. He's about the 32-yard line. He's just standing there. So maybe Coach trying to give somebody else an opportunity right there. And
that makes a big difference right there because that him being in there for the run threat. Now I know a lot of times when you make a mistake like fumbling the football, that's kind of one of the cardinal rules of football. You got to take care of it.
And the punt will sail out of bounds by the Bulldogs around the 41-yard line where the Panthers will take over. We're going to take a quick break here on TexanLive.com. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
Cerna is a local family-owned business located right on Will Clayton and a one-stop shop for your home, auto, liability, and business insurance needs. Please stop in or give us a call at 281-812-9775. We're also proud to support all of the Humble ISD athletes.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium as Panthers in shotgun formation. Here's the give to Hurd. Nope, fake. And this one's going to go and complete to number 2, Reyna. He'll pick up about 6-7 yards on that play.
Reyna catches anything that's coming to him.
Not a very big guy, though. He just
Not a very
finds
big
out a
guy.
way to go up and catch the football right there.
This offense is designed and suited to him. Doing a great job. You get the ball to Hurd, get the ball to Reyna, get the ball to I'm not saying that's the only weapons that they have because all these kids work hard. But
then you hit up downfield. You go down deep to Mills and let him catch you a jump ball right there. You know, you've seen number 49 Sweeney in motion too. They've got some weapons right here on the offensive side. And there's Reyna in motion. Another fake to him.
You got to respect
this
that.
one deep, number 16.
That was again great coverage.
Great coverage right there, number 16, C.J. Benson. But the Bulldogs continue to stay on their receivers. They try just a fade down there to the end zone. Incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Forrest, Magnolia is not playing a bad football game. They're sticking with their guys.
But you know as good as I do, Garrett, or excuse me, Chance. So I'm looking at a name down here. They've just caught some lucky breaks, and sometimes luck can be on your side. The football gods are watching over them tonight. 3rd down and 2. They tried a fake snap right there with check play right there.
Play, yeah.
So Purcell telling his offensive line what to do. And looks like we're going to have a timeout, Panthers. And this timeout, of course, brought to you by Tin Roof Barbecue. Visit tinroofbarbecueandsteaks.com or call 281-852-5577 for more information on authentic Texas barbecue. And Chance, I know as good as I do. You've been over to Tin Roof before, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Best
That
place
monster?
to go in a Atascocita.
Whoa.
No doubt about that.
That 7-meat monster, you can't eat one of those.
And I just noticed something right here. The clock operator forgot to stop the clock right there. And I'm waiting on the referees to look up right there, but the clock is showing the end of the first quarter. So now we'll see what happens right here. There may have been about 20 seconds, 30 seconds left when they called that timeout.
They'll reset that clock here.
But it's all right. Didn't mean to interrupt you right there, Chance. I know you were about to make a point.
Well, actually, I was trying to wipe my mouth a little bit. I was thinking about Tin Roof.
A great place to go. We want to thank all of our sponsors, but especially Tin Roof tonight is our main touchdown sponsor, our timeout sponsor, excuse me.
Now, what I'm looking for out of Magnolia here, and everything that Kingwood Park is doing, with the exception of less than a handful of plays, is on the outside. They're on the outside. They're on the outside. I'm looking for Magnolia to try to funnel everything back in. They're with the shotgun formation. It's about a 3-step drop after that, but everything is quick out. The receivers are going, and they're about 3-4 yards. You had a couple deep plays is all you had. Now Magnolia is going to start trying to turn that inside. They're going to start getting some pressure from different places. I wouldn't be really surprised if you start seeing Magnolia blitzing, because that blitz did work the couple times that they did run it.
Especially when you saw number 1 Spencer Nye blitzing for the Bulldogs, and once again Purcell shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers on one side. Here's the snap. This one going to go right to number 88, Mills, and this will be good for 1st down, but not before a flag's thrown in there. That may be a face mask right there. Going to wait on the official call from the referees, but the angle he threw, it may be either a face mask or horse collar right there from the position where he threw it.
Let's see what you have here. Is he's in his shotgun, he takes a 2-3 step drop. That ball was coming out in less than 2 seconds.
That's
boom,
great
boom.
pocket awareness and pocket passing right there for the Panthers. That's what you got to do, though. You've seen that as good as I do, and they're going to wave that flag off, but it will be a 1st down either way for the Panthers, but their offense continues to roll. Purcell continues to get that ball out quickly, and that's what you got to do, especially when you're facing a talent like Spencer Nye.
They can't get the pressure fast enough. They're negating actually Spencer Nye in this game. There they go.
And this time the pressure is going to come at him.
You don't get it out in 2 seconds, what happens?
And a nice run right there, though, by Purcell, picking up a couple yards, but you did see the pressure. As you saw 3 defensive linemen get to Purcell, just unable. Purcell's quick on his feet, don't get me wrong. He can move a little bit. He's not your running back. He's not your Michael Vick type quarterback,
but
he can move.
Well, see, if he doesn't get it out quick, he's going to miss his first read. Because that Magnolia defense is going to be on him, and he's got to get going.
And here's a snap. This one's going to be given.
Number
2, Reyna on the play, and he'll get across the 10 to the 5, and he's stuffed inside the 3-yard line.
Oh,
and that'll be the end of the first quarter right there.
Hurt?
You see Purcell kind of fixing that ankle tape right there.
Is he a little hurt? I hope he's not.
It looks like he's okay.
There you go.
We're going to take a quick break as that's the end of the first quarter. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond on TexanLive.com.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's nimble and fluid. But sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
Ready? Let's go, Rick. And welcome back out to Turner Stadium as after the end of the first quarter, score Kingwood Park Panthers 10 and the Magnolia Bulldogs 0. Interesting first quarter so far.
It is, and now you're looking at Magnolia. They're starting moving the ball a little bit with Anthony Johnson, and they're getting the ball out. Now, I'm going to be really, again, let's see what happens here, when Magnolia get the ball back. Now, we're talking about still Kingwood Park on offense. But I look for, with where they're at, I'm looking to see if Kingwood Park, they need that field. They need that length. They're the kind of offense, from what I've seen, they need that 15, 20-yard buffer. Let's see if they can get in here, because I don't know if they'll be able to pound the ball up the middle.
Even with the way Hurd's been running the ball.
See, they're tight now.
They're going to stack that formation, right? And it's first down and goal from the 3-yard line. Here's a snap. It's going to be given to Hurd, and he's going to blast his way up the middle. But we're going to have a flag thrown.
Saw that coming. But Hurd, again, that's Hurd. He's a battering ram right there. But
it's going to be holding against the Panthers right there, and that'll move the ball 10 yards back right there. It'll stay first down. And as you know as good as I do, Chance, that's the Panthers' 7th penalty or 8th penalty of the night, and we're not even in the we just started the second quarter.
Again, they keep it's always in the red zone that they're making all these mistakes.
And that'll back the ball up to the 12 or 13-yard line, Look for either number 88 Zach Mills or number 2 Matt Reyna in this situation.
I'm with you. I think that is exactly what they're going to do, and they're both spread out at the top. If you look at the top of the screen right there, you're looking at 88 and 2, both at the top. That may be just a decoy now, too.
And Reyna going to go in motion. Here's a snap. This one's actually going to be given to Hurd.
Hurd again.
And he'll take the ball down inside the 6-yard line. Number 21, Drew Hantla, the stop for the Bulldogs.
Now that motion kind of sucks everybody in, and so it's designed as being a cutback by the power back in that situation. That was actually a very well executed play, because everything was a decoy almost at the top.
And as much as you see Kingwood Park making the mistakes, they're also executing plays very well tonight.
You got
another man in motion
down at the bottom again,
and this one's once again given to Hurd.
Almost the same play run to the opposite side.
Picks up 3 yards, but that'll be third down. It'll be third and goal from the 3-yard line as the microphone kind of slipped off the stand right there. We apologize for those of you that heard that at home. But that clock continues to tick. 11:05 left in the second quarter. Kingwood Park Panthers lead 10-0.
Got 2 men in the backfield for the first time tonight.
And here's a snap. This one going to be given to Reyna coming out of the backfield. He'll make a move, and he'll get in the end zone. Great moves right there.
Those were great cuts.
And another Panthers touchdown. That'll bring it up to 16-0.
I want to make sure that I reiterate this again. Magnolia isn't playing bad.
Not at all.
Kingwood Park is just executing well.
Another well-executed play, exactly. But, Chance, you said it too earlier. They keep continuing to go to the outside, especially like in the red zone offense right here, to try to eliminate Spencer Nye.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do, is eliminate Spencer Nye. They'll do their dashes in the middle, but all of that is coming off of misdirection in the middle to get them off. They don't run the ball directly in the middle up against Nye, but it's working. Magnolia's going to have to make their adjustments.
And this is another bad snap. And what a shot right there. That ball's fumbled and recovered, but PAT tried no good.
You're all right. Dust it off.
As another bad snap, and Kingwood Park hadn't had luck on their side with that tonight.
Was that a bad? I didn't see it.
It was another one down in the dirt. Kind of like in baseball where you got to make that scoop play. It's just a little different making the scoop play with a football versus a baseball right there.
They can't touch him now. The nose guard over the top of that center cannot touch him, but there's a little bit.
And we'll be right back here on TexanLive.com.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Welcome out to Turner Stadium on the campus of Humble High School as Kingwood Park enjoying a comfortable 16-0 lead with 10:53 remaining in the second quarter. We've seen a good football game. So
I don't think that Magnolia shouldn't hang their head. They shouldn't be embarrassed. They are in this game. They need to get some offense going again. I'm going to see if Anthony Johnson gets in there. I started mentioning that in the beginning, but I think that that's a big factor on Magnolia's offensive side. And then they got to make some adjustments to kind of squeeze that everything towards the middle. But Magnolia is a good football team.
Kingwood Park, despite the 7 penalties, able to keep executing their plays. And once again, back deep, Johnson and Woods for the Bulldogs. And here comes the kick from Flaherty. The other one's sailing. This one's going to be a little bit deeper than his one in the past. And Woods will field it at about the 5-yard line. He cuts across, tries the middle of the field, but brought down at the 11-yard line.
He didn't make the first guy miss there.
Number 10, Jeremiah Babin on the stop. And they'll take over 1st and 10, deep in their own territory. That's at the 16-yard line. And there you go. Johnson is back in at running back right there.
Now let's see if that gets things going here. If that was a don't fumble the ball.
Maybe just kind of it's still, first game of the year. You want to see also who else you have. Of course, these are non-district games. Here's the snap. This one's going to be given to Johnson. He breaks a tackle, gets across the 20-yard line, finally brought down number 13, Dominique Kelly, on the stop for the Panthers, but not before he picks up 6 yards.
The conversation on the sidelines was from Doty was, you're going back in, don't fumble the football.
Exactly. Short-term memory. That's what you got to have. Another snap. Here's the give once again to Johnson. This one to the outside. Cuts across the 25, across the 30.
Keep going.
And sheds a tackle, brought down
Anthony Johnson.
Number 17, Thyron Hurst. And once again, number 13, Kelly on the stop, but not before.
2 big plays right there.
Good for another first down for the Bulldogs.
Anthony's going back out this time. Is he? Oh, no, he's in there.
1st and 10, 37-yard line.
You got 2 at the top. They're tight.
Here's a snap. Another give. Excuse me.
There you go. It's a keeper.
He's going to keep it on the play. Number 9, Jacob Frazier, picks up 12 yards and good for another Bulldog first down as here comes that fast-paced Bulldog offense that we all know about.
This is what they've been trying to do right here. Jacob Frazier, the junior.
Really stepping in to fill some big shoes this year, though.
Yes, he is. Got a late entry onto the field here.
And Johnson out of the game, though. Running back in, number 11, Anthony Shoemake.
He doesn't know. He's late into the huddle, missed the huddle. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be. Again, you're early in the season. A lot of times you got to call a timeout.
And you're going to have to call a timeout right here.
And you can't necessarily. That's not on the kid. That is.
And we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond on TexanLive.com.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie, and we'd like to thank you for a fantastic year.
Texan is one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation, thanks to all of our great fans.
So now it's time for the model year closeout.
Every 2014 has to go, and you won't find a better deal in Texas.
Get a new Buick Enclave or a new Buick LaCrosse for just $299 a month.
Or get 0% interest for 60 months. Get these great deals and more at our model year end closeout.
Texan GMC Buick on Highway 59 in Will Clayton.
Or shop 24/7, TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. As Bulldogs after the timeout, 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Another shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, run back. And
there's a keeper again. Not much on that one.
Frazier tried the keeper, met by a host of Panthers right there, but still picks up about 3 yards. So still continues to move in the ball, and here comes Johnson back in the game. And just like you said, though, Chance, that's a big factor of this offense right here. You need him in there as much as he can stay in there.
You do, because he's everything's keying off of what he's doing. It's just the same thing with, and there he goes. As soon as he comes in, he's getting the ball. Not much there, but
no gain, if any, right there. Number 34, Eddie Hinojosa, the first to hit him. No gain on the play, and that'll keep it at 3rd down and 7. And we'll see if the Panthers can't make a big stop right here. Keep that momentum on their side. Force the Bulldogs into punt formation.
Seeing this, and they're all tight in here.
Frazier's going to roll out of the pocket. Here's the throw downfield.
Nice.
Complete for a 1st down, and he breaks away and gets inside the 15-yard line. Looks like trying to pick out a number down there. Number 2, Reese Mason on the fine reception for the Bulldogs.
And there we go.
And you saw what you saw right there. Play action, fake to Johnson, and then rolling out of the pocket and throwing it deep downfield like
They
that.
got to respect Johnson. They got to respect his run. That was a pretty slow developing play. They ended up getting it off. But again, everything was based off of what Johnson's doing out there.
And here's a snap, another roll out of the pocket. Frazier's gonna keep
Look
it,
at that.
and he's
Nice.
gonna
Did he
get in
there?
for a touchdown.
Good for him.
A 17-yard run right there by Jacob Frazier. And
He
the
was going all the
Bulldogs
way.
are on the scoreboard, right? Nice moves right there and great blocking. But just like you said, the Bulldogs aren't playing bad. And there's still much in this football game as we're only 8:46 left here in the first half, so still plenty of time left.
And again, everything was predicated off of what Anthony Johnson was doing in there. He's a big factor to what their offense is about. And they were able to move the football because once they get him going, you got to respect that. And then again, that pass play that they had developed off of.
And Bowman's kick is up and good.
Up and good.
So with 8:46 remaining in the second quarter, your score Kingwood Park 16, Magnolia 7. We're going to take another quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Kingwood Park enjoying a 16-7 lead over the Magnolia Bulldogs with 8:46 remaining in the first half. Still seeing a great football game on hand. Bulldogs finally starting to pick it up a little bit with a nice drive downfield. Of course, that was almost an 80-yard drive right there.
That was exactly what they needed. That's exactly what was ordered right there. They get themselves back in this game, get themselves a good stop here, and Magnolia can get right back into this game. I keep saying it over and over again, that Magnolia Bulldog football team is not a bad football team. Kingwood Park is executing. They're making mistakes, and they're still executing. But that Bulldog team is a good football team.
So once again, number 26, Reed Bowman in to do the kicking. Gets his team lined up, runs to the ball. Here's the kick, and it's a good one downfield. This one will be fielded at about the 5-yard line, across the 15 to the 20, and there's a flag thrown. And he's going to be deep down the field as he gets into Bulldog territory, but flags down well before he could even have a chance to get past all the defenders right there. And unfortunately, this one's coming back. As you saw that as good as I did, Chance. Big block in the back, and that's their 8th penalty of the night. And they've really been shooting themselves in the foot all night. I hate to say that, but unfortunately, it's the truth. You can't make these kind of mistakes. You've already got Magnolia knocking on the door, and now you're going to pin yourself deep in their territory, and you never know what could happen.
Well, they're going to run out of stadium here in a minute because again, this is going to be Spencer nighttime here because they're going to run out of space.
You're looking for a potential safety right here.
You are,
and
there's nowhere to go.
Exactly. It'll be 1st and 10 at about the 6.5-yard line is looking where the referees are going to spot the ball. And Kingwood Park's going to have their work cut out for them right here. Purcell, of course, back in at quarterback.
Now, this would be an opportunity for Magnolia to make some hay right here and turn this thing around real quick.
This can be a momentum-shifting drive right here.
It could be because Kingwood Park is out of space right here.
One back, shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side. Here's a snap. Purcell going to try to fake it up the middle. Pass complete to Reyna, and plenty of room to run. And he'll pick up 9 yards on that, maybe 10. I can't tell if they're going to give him the first down or not. Looks like they are going to give him the spot as he's being forced out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. They are going to give him a first down. So a great execution right there as Purcell keeps continuing to give the ball to Reyna, his go-to target in the slot right there. So 1st and 10, here's a give.
Offsides there.
That's going to be
same play, opposite side.
Pass complete downfield. He's going to break away, number 49, Garrett Sweeney.
There you go.
And that'll be another Panther first down.
So the next part you're looking on this is everything is going to the strong side of the field. So it was the same play, just flip-flopped.
And they're continuing that fast-paced, no-huddle offense. 1st and 10, 30-yard line. Here's the snap. Fake to Hurd.
There you go. See, now that's your adjustments right there. Now, Reyna almost got loose there. Same play that they've been running. They ran the same play 3 times in a row.
Number 22, Mike Garrett Jr. on the stop for the Bulldogs, but not before Reyna picks up about 5 yards and bring up 2nd down.
But you get that stop there.
But you see the Panthers continue to try to use that play action and use Hurd as a decoy back there. Of course, we know he's capable of breaking away a one as well, as there's a give right there to Hurd, and he's going to try to power his way up the middle, and he will for a first down. He's going to keep those feet moving, but it took 4 Bulldogs right there to bring him down.
See, Hurd is a power back. Now, on that, Nye's getting frustrated. Spencer Nye's, he's working. He wants a payoff here.
And Hurd listed at 5'10", 200 pounds.
Battering ram right there.
So 1st and 10,
Nye's
48-yard line.
Let's see where they go with this.
And this one going to go out to number 18. Or excuse me, number 16, C.J. Benson. He'll pick up about 7 yards on that play.
They're wearing these guys out now. Magnolia's got to stick in there. They got the players. The depth right now is a little question. At the pace that Kingwood Park's going, they can't get guys in and out. They can't get the rotations.
And even Nye kind of getting a little tired down there. 2nd and 4. Here's the snap. Fake to Hurd. Purcell going to throw it to Reyna. And he's gobbled up right away, but he'll be just past the first down marker. Awful close spot right there. But that'll be good for a Panther first down. Be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line as they keep that pace going, which is what they have to do. They're tiring the Bulldogs out already.
They can't get their substitutions in.
Check play right there. They're looking on the sidelines for the call. Split wide receivers, 2 on each side. You see Reyna and Mills on the same size again. They keep liking to go to that formation. Here's the snap. This one going to be given to Hurd, and he's going to keep powering his way up the middle. And once again, you saw that time, Nye had to jump on top of him to bring him down.
You just call that a dog pile.
And he'll pick up 4 yards. Number 54, Seth Miller, the first one to hit him.
No.
Second. And Reyna in motion. Here's the snap. This one's going to be fumbled, but either way, you got a flag, and this one's going to be a free play, as this one's going to looks like it's going to go offsides against the Bulldogs. I didn't hear a whistle blown that time, so that's what I'm thinking. That's what this one may go. Thrown right there at the line of scrimmage. Waiting on the official calls from the ref right here.
Now,
what
do you call?
They're going to call legal formation.
Legal formation.
So that'll actually back the ball up 5 yards. Kind of looked like they were going to call offsides just from where it was called. Whistle, right? But it'll be nonetheless, it'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Panthers from the Bulldogs' 44-yard line. Reyna once again in motion. Here's the snap. The give to him, and he's blasted, and the ball is fumbled. Looks like it's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs. Number 30.
That was a big hit.
Caleb Blomberg on the recovery. I couldn't exactly tell who made a hit, but he took a shot right there. Reyna, of course, not a very big guy, only listed at 5'7", 154. But nonetheless, Bulldogs have it in Panther territory, be 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line, and still plenty of time left in this half to score. 6:07 left on the clock.
They get into that locker room with a 14-16. They'll be feeling pretty good about themselves. And, again, we're talking about how Magnolia is not a bad football team.
And here's the snap. Frazier looking downfield.
Got him.
Wide open, number 16, Carson Nixon.
Carson Nixon.
Great play right there.
Good for you, son. Good for you.
For the junior wide receiver. His parents got to be proud at home. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, they are. Good for you, son. Good for you.
1st and 10 now from the Panther. Looks like about their 16 or 14-yard line, excuse me, as now we're in the red zone, so we'll see what this Bulldog offense can do. Here's a snap. And this one intended for Johnson and dropped. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Kind of tried a quick out route right there. No avail.
There was space out there. Now, it was kind of a little bit thrown at his feet, but you can't be upset with Frazier. He dropped that ball in there to Nixon his play before. So, we'll give him one.
And here's a snap. Frazier looking downfield. Here's the throw. Number 8, Woods on the reception. He crosses across the 5, and he's in there for a score.
There you go, boys
and now it's a real ball game. But we're all
boys and girls.
Looks like we're going to have an injured player down, and we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct flag thrown. Number 75 for the Bulldogs. Kind of he was standing over the injured player talking right there, and not something you want to see in football.
No, sir. Not at this level, not at any level.
But either way, that won't affect the touchdown. They'll just move the PAT back, but that'll either way that'll bring this. And exactly just like you heard the ref, that penalty be accessed on the kickoff, but nonetheless that'll bring the score up to Kingwood Park 16, Magnolia 13. Still 5:45 left, so still time for the Panthers maybe to get something done offensive-wise.
Now, here's the deal. The penalty mistakes that Kingwood Park was making, they've been able to overcome. It's the miscues and fumbles that they cannot.
And that, of course, that was Panthers' first turnover of night, but it's already been their 2nd fumble. So,
correct.
Number 6, Reed Bowman lining up in PAT formation. We'll see if the Bulldogs can get a snap down. Unable to get that done last time. And here's the snap. The kick is up and good. And that'll bring up 16-14 now.
Now, let's say this. Could maybe Magnolia have scored too early?
There's no doubt about that. That's a true statement.
They get themselves back in the game, but with the way K Park has been able to move the football as quickly as they've been able to move the football, now you're looking at clock management here.
Exactly. No doubt about that, Chance. Well, of course, after the penalty, instead of kicking off from the 40, you'll kick off from, is it the 15 yards, right? So it'll be kicking off from 25 now?
25, yeah.
And that's going to hurt the Bulldogs right there. That flag is killer because now you're moving up the return team. Instead of fielding the ball at the 5-yard line, you're fielding the ball at the 20-yard line. That's a big difference. And we're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Once again in to kick it off, number 26, Reed Bowman, kicking it off from the 25-yard line after the flag.
That just looks funny to me. Just don't look right.
No doubt about that. And here's a kick from Bowen. And it's a good kick, though, but this one will still be fielded at the 20-yard line. Across the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Got a block.
But we're going to have a flag thrown.
It's a good block, though.
Number 17, Tyron Hurst on the return to about the 47-yard line. But you got a flag down. Probably going to go illegal block in the back or clipping. I can see either one being called here. But you see Magnolia make the mistakes. Then Kingwood Park gets their 10th penalty of the night. And we're not even in the second half yet. You can't make these mistakes, especially you got the Bulldogs knocking on the door now.
Now, when they go, we're a little too early to be talking about halftime adjustments because there's 5 minutes still left in this quarter.
And we're going to take a quick timeout once again here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Here's a snap, handoff to Hurd. He'll pick up maybe a yard, if any, on that play.
Yeah, he's playing bumper cars in there now. But again, Nye was the one that closed that hole up right there, and he was just bumper carring in there.
It'll be 2nd and 10. No gain on that play for Hurd. Still plenty of time left in the first half. 5:13 remaining. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers inside. Hurd in the backfield. Here's a snap, and the pass going to be intended. Falls over the head of C.J. Benson.
That was his second read on that, so he's actually following his progressions on there. But I want to bring up the penalties here. You get an unsportsmanlike penalty on one end, and then you get the second penalty on the other end. And basically, Kingwood Park is right where they would be without the penalty. So they couldn't take advantage of the penalty that Magnolia got.
Instead of starting at the 47-yard line in Bulldog territory, they're at their own 25-yard line, 3rd and 10. And here's the snap. This one's going to be fumbled, and you see Nye right there up the middle with the sack. Loss of 10 yards. And the Panthers are going to be punting deep out of their own territory now. Now, we've seen this, Chance. Deep snapping has been a problem tonight for the Panthers.
This is their first punt, so
Zach Mills going to line up in punt formation, but like I said, we've seen deep snapping being a problem, so we'll see what happens right here.
And it's the same thing there. They're running out of the stadium over here. They're running out of room on that back end. There ain't anywhere to go to be, and if that ball goes out of there, that's a safety.
Exactly. Can't afford a bad snap here, especially with the way the score is. And
Safety
number 8,
penalty.
Michael Woods, deep. And there's a good snap on target. Not a good punt at all. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And what a break for Magnolia right there.
What are you saying? A net of
6-8 yards, somewhere in that range.
Man, that's tough, though. I mean, you can't – again, and I keep on reiterating on this over and over again. This is – the first game of the season. Now, they have scrimmages, but the scrimmages are highly regulated. There's officials everywhere, the coaches everywhere. So this is actually your first game. And, again, you have the Kingwood Park, the Panthers, on a new system and a new coaching regime in Clayton Maple. So let's give the kids a break.
We'll see what happens right here. Panthers lead 16-14, 4:13 remaining in the first half. Bulldogs 1st and 10 at their 23-yard line. Here's a snap. He's going to look deep to number 2, but this one's going to be overthrown.
Man, foot for foot with him. He's going to call it. I thought that was good coverage.
It was tight coverage, but it's a flag thrown down there. Coverage on the play, number 17, Tyron Hurst. And looks like, I can't tell, it kind of looked like he was pointing towards the offensive sideline, but we're kind of a little long ways from the field up here, so we'll see. Wait on the official call. Oh, he is going to call it against the defense.
That's a tough call right there. Felt like he was stride for stride with him.
It was great.
I didn't see the contact, though.
I didn't either, but, unfortunately, we're not down there. Referees get this bird's eye view to it compared to what we get, so not complaining about our view or anything either. Great facilities here on the Elmball ISD complex at Turner Stadium, one of the more premier stadiums in the Houston area.
And I will never disagree with the referee.
And here's the keeper.
There you go. He's getting in there.
And that'll be a touchdown. That was actually a direct snap to a receiver, number 2, Reese Mason.
So there you go, Reese Mason. We called him earlier. Call him again.
And the Bulldogs will take a 20-16 lead. As you saw, the Panthers score 16 unanswered points. Well, now the Bulldogs have scored 20. And what a great football game, though. I'm enjoying calling this game tonight.
No, that's what as I was watching the game, Magnolia, I kept telling them, they're not a bad football team. They're not a bad football team. This is a good football team. They couldn't had some things not go their way. They get themselves, they're opportunistic again. Take advantage of these opportunities. And again, they're big plays from Reese, and they're big plays from Anthony. Good job, Magnolia Bulldogs.
Snap is down. The kick is up. And it's going to hit the crossbar and sail out. This is a live ball in play. Oh, no, excuse me. I thought the way they were going after it made it look like it was a live ball in play.
You get excited.
But nonetheless, that'll keep it at a 4-point game. Magnolia leads 20-16. We're going to take a quick break here on TexanLive.com. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Back out to Turner Stadium on the campus of Humboldt High School, and tonight's game between the Kingwood Park Panthers and the Magnolia Bulldogs. We see the Bulldogs leading 20-16 with 4:04 remaining in the first half.
Now, what I was going to say, and the same thing is, that, and we'll bring this back into full circle, is that Magnolia has taken opportunities. We said it from the beginning. We said it early and often. Magnolia is not a bad football team. You cannot sleep on these kids. They will come back.
But you also, I'm going to play devil advocate here. You have seen Kingwood Park commit 11 penalties just in this first half alone. They've shot themselves in the foot. Of course, on the last drive, returned the kick all the way to the 43-yard line, but called for a block in the back. So they'll in to kick it off, number 26, Reed Bowman for the Bulldogs.
We've seen some good returns tonight.
We'll see if he can't make lightning strike again like he did on the last drive. Here's a kick from Bowman. It's going to be a short squib kick. See if number 49 going to field it, and he'll take it just about down to the 39-yard line.
Sweeney.
Garrett Sweeney. We've called his name a couple times tonight, but nonetheless, good field positioning right here for the Panthers.
There's plenty of time on the clock. They got 4 minutes left on the clock. And again, everything that they do is quicken out. You got that 1.5 second, 2 second, first progression, bam, 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 bam. And when they were doing that, they were able to move the ball back and forth.
And I missed a flag down there thrown on the field.
There it is, right there at the 40.
It looked like it's going to be offsides against the kicking team. They'll move the ball up 5 yards, so it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from the 44-yard line.
Now this is a short field. Now this is a situation where the Panthers could get something done here.
Oh, come on!
You got two. You still got that same personnel grouping, and you're trying to stop the. There you go with Rain in motion.
This one's going to go to
They've
Hurd.
run this play several times. This has almost become a bread and butter.
And Hurd will pick up about a yard, maybe 2 on that play.
Now remember, we talked about clock management in this. Are we looking at a clock management situation here?
And Kingwood Park only with 1 timeout left, as they had to use them early. Be 2nd down and 8. Purcell once again in the shotgun.
2 and 1.
And almost offsides on that play. This play's going to be dumped off to Reyna.
That underneath to Reyna.
Reyna keeps making some good moves out there. Want to give you guys a couple little updates, too. From over at Rhodes Stadium, number 3 ranked Katy Tigers lead it 30-0 over the Kingwood Mustangs with 7:51 remaining in the third quarter. And the College Park Cavaliers actually leading the Pearland Oilers 13-12 with 24 seconds remaining in the first half.
CP in the house. Huh.
Who would have thought that one right there?
I called their JV game yesterday.
They've got some talent over there. They'll be sneaky this year, in my opinion. But nonetheless, 1st and 10 Panthers, 43-yard line. Snap, Purcell to Reyna, and he's blown up, and he'll be brought down in the backfield. Number 22, Garrett Jr., another nice play. That's about the 3rd or 4th tackle he'd made tonight. But nonetheless, there'll be a loss of about 5 yards on that play.
And in some of those situations, you got to clear out those blocks. But Magnolia's just reading that play now. He just cut that off. Same situation. Got 2 and 2. Reyna in motion again.
This time they're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him
He'll
this time. There you go.
Across
Look
the 40,
at that kid.
across the 45, across the 30, 25, 20, 15. And he's down inside the 15-yard line at about the 12. And what another great run by Matt Reyna.
Now, here's the deal. They set that play up almost an entire game. Every time that he would come across, they're giving it underneath to Hurd. Reyna would go across, giving it underneath to Hurd. You get and then you get lulled into that, and as a player, you step towards, and there you go. You're out of position.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers in the red zone. Here's the snap. Going to give it to Hurd across the right side down. He looks like he's going to get into the end zone, and he will. Touchdown, Panthers.
That's power right there on that one. See, they're going both ways right now. K Park did on that set. They do a little bit of finesse, do a little power, a little power, and a little trickery in the middle of that.
But you know as good as I do, Chance, still continuing to stay away from Spencer Nye, running the balls to the outside both times, and that's what you got to do. If you can execute those plays when you run the ball to the outside and you can eliminate Spencer Nye, you will be okay.
And they've seen as soon as they don't eliminate him, he's getting sacks. He's disrupting the backfield. He's causing problems. Now that kid he expects to make a play every game, every play.
And that's what he's done a good job tonight. And we'll see the Panthers line up in two-point formation. Here's the snap to give to Hurd. He'll plow up the middle, and two-point conversion good.
Wow.
And that'll put the
battering ram.
Instead of being up by 4, now they're up by 5. And with 3:07 remaining in the first half, score Panthers 25, Bulldogs 20. We're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
The whole clock management.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
And welcome back out to Texan Live's coverage of Kingwood Park in Magnolia. I want to take a minute to say this quarter is brought to you by Cerna Insurance Agency. At Cerna Insurance Agency, we make your decision easy and pain-free. Our goal is to give you high-quality insurance at a low cost.
You got a clock issue here.
And not the first time we've seen this tonight.
Actually, a score issue and a clock issue both.
And waiting, I don't know if the referees have picked this one up.
No, I haven't.
And there we go. Well, now it's saying the scoreboard 57-20, the Panthers lead.
They're not watching the same game we are.
Somebody having some problems up there in the booth, but that's all right.
They'll get it straight.
Flaherty in to kick it off.
That's a tough job, too.
And here's a kick downfield.
Kick.
Looks like Woods is going to return this one again.
That is a good kick.
And he's across the 10, the 15, the 20, the
kid.
25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, 50,
told you.
40, 35, 30.
Get there, kid. Get there.
And he'll be finally brought out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Great return right there by number 8, Michael Woods. Right. And you called that. You said he would break one away tonight, and sure enough, there it is right there. Great field positioning now for the Bulldogs.
No, I don't mean to. I wasn't trying to toot my own horn, and I don't mean to sound like I was tooting.
Not at all. Not at all. You called it. That's the important part right there.
No, just that formation on there. He was breaking the first time, and they were just crashing too hard on and there nobody weren't staying in their lanes as well. And I don't want to necessarily.
And we make it sound so easy up here. Special teams aren't easy. There's no doubt about that. So
there was just an opportunity. There was a hole there.
So first and 10, 27-yard line. Here's a snap. Gives to number 5, Johnson. And he'll pick up 5 yards on that play as the clock continues to run. Bulldogs still have 2 timeouts, about 2:45 remaining in the first half.
He's getting up a little slow. He wants out. He wants out of the game, Coach. You all right?
And can't tell if he's going to stay in. Nope. We're going to have a receiver. Woods is going to come into play. Outside receiver. Woods has got some good little size on him.
Let's see if Anthony Johnson's okay.
Kind of took a little shot on that play.
He looked like he did. Let's see if he's all right.
Clock continues to tick. Here's the snap. Roll to the outside. He's going to keep this one, and he'll get down to Pat right about the 20-yard line. Picks up about 2-3 yards on that play. Number 9, Jacob Frazier, the quarterback keeper.
Now, on that play, you're looking like, and I couldn't tell if there was a mistake on that play or not, or if that was the design of the play. You have the running back. It looks like he was looking for a pitch, maybe.
So it'd be 3rd down and 3 from the 25-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Not going well. He's going off. He's not all right. He's down. Look at that. He's down on the field.
He may have taken a little shot on that last play.
I think he did. He is not all right.
But you know as good as I do, they need him. And here's the direct snap to Reese Mason. And they'll try to run the ball up the middle right there. No doing. And that'll bring up 4th down. No gain on that play. And we'll see if the Bulldogs don't try a field goal right here if they try to go for it.
I'm a little concerned. He comes back in. I was a little concerned about it. Here comes Anthony right back in.
And you never know, with the weather and the heat
there's
down
a lot
there,
of things
you
going
could
on,
be
so I don't want to
cramping a
scare
little
anybody.
bit too.
I don't mean to
No, don't mean to
right, disrupt or scare anybody out there. He just coming out and he looks like he's maybe a little winded.
And Bulldogs trying to figure out their formation here. We've had guys shift left and right. We've seen guys running off the field. They may have to call a timeout, play clock down to 8 seconds.
They're going to have to do something here.
And he's going to call a timeout. I think coach is trying to waste as much time as he could off the clock right there, and he's bring in his field goal team now. So we'll see what happens because you want to get those points back.
Yeah, you need those points.
Any way you can.
No, you need those points here.
And we're going to go to a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
Welcome back out to Turner Stadium. 57 seconds remaining in the first half. Kingwood Park Panthers lead at 24-20. I want to remind everybody real quick, this quarter brought to you by Cerna Insurance Agency. At Cerna Insurance, we make your decision easy and pain-free. Our goal is to give you high-quality insurance at a low cost.
All right, we come into this. Look, that's going to have 4. You got 2 running backs on this set.
And number 9, Frazier going
So
to give the ball. That'll be good for a first down. And that's what you needed. But you're going to see a flag fly right there. And I don't know, they may get him for a hold or maybe a chop right there. But definitely.
That's right in the area of a hold or a chop. You're right.
Something going against the offense. And the Bulldogs shoot themselves in the foot right there.
That was a first down play. They were using Johnson as a decoy on that one.
And you also lost 8 seconds off the clock right there, which can be detrimental. And they're actually going to call ineligible receiver downfield. Looked like the left tackle may have just kind of scored it across the line of scrimmage a little bit.
You know, it's one of those when those screens start developing a little slower, and those linemen again, it's 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000 go.
Exactly.
So sometimes in those situations you get a little going, and you don't have rearview mirrors on your helmet.
And instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 4th down and 7 from the 25-yard line. And flags are going to fly prior to the snap. Interested to see what this one's going to be. Don't know if they maybe – I'm not sure what the ref is seeing.
3, 4, 5.
I see everybody on the field. No play
Formation
clock
looks good.
delay. Wait on the official call right here.
Oh.
And what a bad break right there for the Bulldogs. Back-to-back mistakes.
He's checking his position.
And they're
receiver, he checks his position with the line judge there, and I'm betting you the line judge told him to back up, and he never did.
So back-to-back mistakes right there for the Bulldogs. As now they're facing a 4th and really long situation. It'll be 4th down and 13 to go. Frazier in shotgun. Here's the snap. He's going to look downfield and try to throw this one deep to Woods. And Woods,
got it.
He had it and dropped it.
Incomplete.
Great coverage right there, though, by the Panthers.
Well, you're using his height. You're using Wood's height on that, and he was up. It was up. The pass was good. That was great coverage.
Trying to see it. It looks like number 23, Richard Corsi, on the play, on the coverage. Or maybe, check that, number 20, Evan Perlow, on the play or on the coverage for the Panthers, and they'll take over 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. And we're going to have a timeout, Bulldogs. We're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
Welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Well, we got a quick break. Want to give you a couple updates on scoreboard. Katy Tigers lead the Kingwood Mustangs 37-0 with 4:29 left in the third. Stratford Spartans lead the Memorial Mustangs 27-7 at half. Cy Springs leads Maid Creek 30-6 at half. And College Park continues to lead Pearland 13-12 at half. Spring and Aldine Davis tied up at 7 at half. Pasadena leads Baytown Lee 34-0 at with 3:35 left to go in the game. We're going to shoot it back down to the field. And here we go, Purcell shotgun formation. He'll dump it off to number 88, Mills.
There you go.
Get her out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Son. Good play, son. Get a few yards, get it out of bounds. Stop the clock.
But you know what I've noticed, Chance? All these receivers for the Panthers continue to have solid hands.
Yes,
Everything thrown to them, they pretty much caught for the most part tonight.
I would say there was just that one touchdown pass early. It was a little bit overthrown, but everything has been great. Look at this formation here. This is the first one this time I've seen this. Three wide receivers on the set on the bottom of the screen there.
And
Let's
here's
see what
the
that's
snap.
all about. Oh, and they go opposite. They're trying to get singled up.
Mills once again, and he does his job getting the first down and also gets out of bounds. Going to pick up about 15 yards on that play. It'd be good for a first down. And be 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. 12 seconds to go in the first half. Panthers still have one timeout. They're going to need that for a field goal, though. So maybe one more play left.
They can get one more play in there.
But you got to shoot something deep here.
Yeah, I don't know if they're not going to have a time. You got 12 seconds left. I don't know if the time that it takes to develop that play, again, Nye will be on you. You're not going to have that time to make that kind of play. You're going to have to do something probably in the 15, 20-yard range.
And here's a snap. They're going to try a screen to Reyna.
He's going on the inside. He can't get out of bounds.
He tries to make a move.
Watch the clock.
And they're going to call a timeout right here. Give themselves maybe one play to make or throw a Hail Mary right here. As a differently designed play. I wasn't expecting a screen, but, that's Coach Maple probably trying to catch him off guard a little bit right here.
But again, that's Magnolia. It's a very sound, disciplined defense. They're not getting any of those. There you go. 6 seconds on here. I'm going to say on something like this, you're looking at 6 seconds. You got time for one more play because you look at the last play. It was a 2-3 yard gain on that. You take 6 seconds off here. You got 6 seconds, and you got 50 yards. You got half the field on this play. I'm going to say something in the area of Zach Mills, just because he's a 6'1" kid going to go up and get it. I would say they take it. This is going to be a deep shot here. They're out of field goal range. This is going to be a deep shot. Or you can get a Hail Mary.
You never know what could happen here. We've seen some luck go in Hail Mary ways, and you just never know. Of course, Panthers lead at 24-20, 6 seconds remaining in the first half. We've seen a great ball game so far, though. As you saw, pardon? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, we're getting our money's worth here.
Exactly, no doubt about that. You saw the Panthers jump out to an early 16-0 lead. Then Magnolia scored 20 unanswered points. Panthers battled back with another touchdown and 2-point conversion. Here's the snap. They're going to try to give it to Reyna. Nope.
No.
He's going to keep it, and he's across the 40.
That was
the 40 to 35, and he'll be brought down, and that'll send us into halftime right there.
Or you could do none of the things I suggest.
Hey,
That's why I'm up here, not down there.
Exactly. Halftime brought to you by Panera Bread. Come visit the Atascocita and Kingwood locations. Panera Bread, food as it should be. Well, folks, it's been a great first half so far. Kingwood Park leads 24-20. Back here in about 28 minutes. We thank you for listening to us for now. We'll talk to you in a little bit. And welcome back out to Texan Live's coverage of the Kingwood Park Panthers taking on the Magnolia Bulldogs. Panthers lead 24-20, about a minute 46 left here at halftime. And Chance, what a fantastic game we've seen so far.
Absolutely, and it's kind of one of those games where a team that is opportunistic hangs around, and then picks their spots, takes what they need. Magnolia's been doing that all day to Kingwood Park. They hung around, waited for their mistakes, struck when they needed to, and took their opportunities. Kingwood Park, on the other hand,
they've had plenty of opportunities, but 12 penalties have really hurt them, including one last half. They had they had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called. The Bulldogs kicked off from the 25. The kick was returned to the Bulldogs' 40-yard line, but they got called for a block in the back. Little things like that can't happen. Instead of having great field positioning, you start out at your own 25.
Negate sometimes some of the positive things, but again, the pace that Kingwood Park is running, they're able to make up for their mistakes. They're about the 2 or 3 plays that they've been really extremely successful. Reina's having an outstanding game, and then you run herd up the middle. I mean, they got a 1-2 punch, and they're almost negating for Magnolia's Spencer Nye. Now Spencer Nye, if you forget about him, and we've seen it,
he'll make you pay.
He'll make you pay. He'll make you pay. As soon as you make a mistake on that guy, he'll make you pay. But then you turn right around, and Magnolia is also equally opportunistic on their end. They're making their big plays when they need their big plays. They're capitalizing their mistakes, their turnovers. They're again, Magnolia. You can look at both of these teams. It's very early in the season. We're at week 1. They're going to have this kind of mistakes. These are 2 good football teams playing each other right here. 2 very good football teams. Both of these teams. I don't know if I could go far as make the playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if both these teams in their respective districts make the playoffs.
No doubt about that. Of course, Panthers jumped out to a 16-0 lead. Then the Bulldogs came back, scored 20 unanswered points, and then we saw the Panthers battle back, score another touchdown. And both teams have had more opportunities to score. Of course, the Bulldogs already forcing a turnover. Same with Kingwood Park. Pretty even in that category. It's just if you're the Panthers, you've got to correct the penalties. If you're the Bulldogs, you got to get the pressure back there, and you have to slow down this Kingwood Park high-powered offense.
And that is exactly right, Forrest. And that's exactly what the conversations Doty had with his Bulldogs in the locker room was, hey guys, we got to kind of squeeze things to the middle. We got to slow down this offense. And same thing is that Coach Maples is saying the exact same thing. Excuse me, to his Panthers. Hey guys, let's eliminate these penalties. We got a big lead in this game.
So here we go. Get ready to begin the second half. Bowman's kick. This one's going to be sailed to about the 18-yard line, be fielded across the 25, the 30, the 35, and he's brought down at the 37-yard line where the Panthers will take over 1st and 10.
That was a good run right there. So you're leaving those creases in the middle. They're not holding their lanes on those. So I'm not going to go as far as predict another big run, but the opportunities are there.
There's no doubt about that. And if you're the Panthers or if you're the Bulldogs, you've got to watch out. Like you said, for Aaron Hurd, you got to watch out for the deep threat with Zach Mills. And, of course, the guy that can do it all is the other receiver, little guy, Matthew Reina. And we've seen him make play after play after play with his feet tonight. So here we go.
Now, I would say Magnolia's their secondary's played outstanding today, and Nye is, again, the key on this.
Snap. Purcell gives it to Hurd. He cuts around to the right side and forced out of bounds.
Nothing there. That's the secondary there of Magnolia just crashing down on that.
Gain of 2 yards, brought down number 25, Hayden Willis on the stop. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers.
And they're going no huddle, quick offense.
Keep that pace rolling. If you're the Panthers, I think you kind of want to score. You want to score quick right here, honestly, just in my opinion. There's a give to Reina. And he'll get 3 yards on that one. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Try to reverse around to the left side. And you see Reina been able to cut back and make those moves, but good coverage right there by the Bulldogs.
Now they came crashing down. Again, see, it's the same. They're trying to spread out. If you watch them, they're getting sideline to sideline a lot quicker. Now, that could also set up for something in the middle. But if Nye's holding down that middle, let's see what happens with Magnolia on this.
Snap to Purcell. He looks
He's
back.
out of time
Good
already.
Bulldog
Out of time
pressure.
already.
But he's going to run. And looks like he'll get across. But he's going to be brought down out of bounds. No flag thrown.
He
Logan
might
Whitney.
have been in a sliding motion right there. He was in a sliding motion anyway, and I think his hands were on his hips as he kind of slid into that. Now, see, that's one of those things. You got 1,000, 2 1,000. Got to get the ball out. As soon as he goes, he's got to take off.
And, Purcell's had good pocket presence. That's not his first carry or his first keeper of the night. He's probably got about 40 yards on the ground.
But that also goes to Magnolia's pressure.
And here's a snap. That's going to be a quick pass out to Reyna. He'll shed a blocker, and he'll get across the first down marker. Picks up 11 yards on that one, and he continues to stay hot, but he comes up limping a little bit on that play.
Yes, he does. That could be a big deal right there. He's got to come off the field. He's coming off.
Oh, he's going to stay in.
No,
Reyna
he's
must be
gonna
tough
stay.
as
Good for him.
nails
Tough.
down
There
there.
you go. Good job, Reyna.
He knows
Hang
they
in
need
there,
him in
Reyna.
this game to
yes,
win.
Yes, they do.
So here we go once again. 2 wide receivers on each side. One back. Purcell,
They're
here's
playing
the
soft
snap.
off them there.
He's going to give to Hurd, and Hurd will pick up 6 yards on that one.
That is that's a first right there.
Number 48, Jose Marvillo on the stop.
That is I think that's the first time that they've run straight up the middle of this game.
And we've been talking about all night. You really hadn't want to run up the middle with Spencer Nye in there at nose guard.
Here we go. 3 on one side, 1 on the other. This is only the second time they've had formation. There.
Another give to Hurd right there. And this time he'll get across the first down marker. Picks up 7 on that one. Good for a Panther first down. And they continue to try to pound that. Good blocking right there from the O-line, too.
What they're doing now is they're using 9 speed against him. As he's coming in, they're almost doing delayed handoff. They're almost letting Nye get past you before they hand the football off. See that?
This one's faked.
Ooh.
And his pass will be complete. Number 49, Sweeney on the tackle, but not before he's met by number 21, Hantla. And we have a flag down on the play in the backfield.
Now, on that, if you look at Magnolia, pressures quite a bit more. As that field starts shorting up, Magnolia will start pressuring a little bit, and they'll start getting man-to-man almost in a bump type. Let's see what this.
Of course, flag down in the backfield, waiting on the official call from the referee. And it's going to go illegal motion against the Panthers, and another penalty. They're 14th of the night already. If I'm Coach Maple, you got a lot of things to correct when you get to next week, but you got to worry about today. But either way, that's so many missed opportunities you've had tonight.
Yeah, you need to clean again. Again, we're still in week 1 though, and
that's a true statement right there. Here's a snap, fake to Hurd, pass complete to number 88 Mills.
Now they are playing so well off their game plan. Middle, outside, fake to the middle, go to the outside. They're dink and dunking everything they have. Where you think you're at, as soon as you make your adjustment, Magnolia makes their adjustment. Kingwood Park is going the opposite direction. You make an adjustment, it's almost like a boxing match. You start blocking your face, they're going to hit you in the gut.
2nd down and 6. Here's the give. Number 23.
There's nothing going there.
Richard Kersey on the carry. No gain on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down. But, it's funny you say that, Chance. Have you noticed, too, and this is kind of something I just thought about, the quarterback Purcell has done a great job. He has thrown at least 2 to 3 balls to every single one of his receivers out there.
Yeah.
So he's really doing a good job spreading the ball out there.
Yes, he is, and everybody's getting an opportunity to get their hands on it. Keeps everybody in the game and everybody paying attention. So everybody's sharp. He's always doing a great job.
Purcell looking down. He had Mills wide open, but instead he sacked in the backfield, trying to get a number to see who that was. Looks like number 30, Noah Blomberg, not his first play of the night. I believe that's his 2nd sack, and that'll bring up 4th and long. And we'll see. That's going to force the Panthers into punt formation as here comes Zach Mills.
And again, nothing deep. Everything short passes. Magnolia's defense, you don't get it out within the 1.5, 2 seconds. They're going to get you.
Their defensive line has kept pressure all night long. So Mills in front formation. Here's the snap. And the kick is off. Going to try to pin the Bulldogs deep. And this one will sail out of bounds at the 1 yard line. And a fantastic punt right there for Zach Mills.
Son. Good for you.
He just did exactly what Coach Mabel wanted to do. Just pin them.
What he did.
Now they have to march 99 yards downfield to score.
Wow.
And we want to take a quick second to thank Memorial Hermann for sponsoring our third quarter tonight. Located at 18951 Memorial Hermann North, just past 59 and 1960. Call 281-540-7700. And Memorial Hermann, of course, caring for families in the Lake Houston and Kingwood area for more than 30 years, offering world-class care for those of us close to home. So we thank you for being a sponsor of us tonight. Of course, Memorial Hermann, a good sponsor of Humble ISD and Humble Independent School District as well. So here we go. Looks like they're going to try to sneak it out of here. Definitely goal line formation right here. Look to give the ball to number 5, Johnson. And actually keep it up the middle.
They get 4 or 5 yards out of that, but they're trying to give themselves some space there.
Jacob Frazier on the keeper. He's going to pick up 4 yards on that one, and he'll take the ball at least to the 5-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 6. Same formation. Going to stick 2 wide receivers on each side, 1 in the backfield. Johnson to the right side of Frazier.
Got an off guy here.
Here's the
An
snap.
inside slot receiver. There you go.
And that ball's dropped. Looks like number 8, Michael Woods, the intended receiver.
Now, he's the kind of kid you got to go up at. Give him some.
And he's made some plays like
yeah.
that tonight. I really hadn't seen them throw a bunch of screens to him, but, trying to catch him off guard nonetheless.
Now they're playing off of the slot receiver on this side here.
Here's the snap.
There
throw.
it comes. Yep, they found it. They found it. They
Reese
found
Mason.
it. There you go.
And he breaks away from the tackle, gets it right across the 30-yard line, tripped up Garrett Freeman on the tackle, but not before he gets a first down and more.
Now, Magnolia, what happens is that safety was playing off, left a huge zone in there for that slot receiver. Slot receiver clears that out and brings in Mason behind it. That's a great play.
Indeed it was. 1st and 10, 30-yard line for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. Rolling out of the pocket is Frazier. He'll complete the pass to Woods. Woods makes a move.
There you go.
And he'll pick up 9 yards on that one.
Woods got some moves. That's a tough throw, too. That's on the run. Throws a dart.
And, of course, Frazier, the junior quarterback, missing his top target this year in number 4, Cole McGowan. Tore his ACL in spring, unfortunately. But, nonetheless, 2nd down and 1. Here's a snap. Frazier looking downfield. He'll complete this pass.
Look at that. Same play, opposite side.
And that's exactly what you want to do. Run that quick out route. Number 10, Anthony Shoemake again with another reception. Good for a Bulldog first down. And they're continuing to drive the ball downfield. Be 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. And we got 2 wide receivers on one side. Mason moving in motion a little bit.
Gets set. There he goes.
Frazier going to move Johnson as well.
Johnson comes out.
Here's the snap. Frazier looking deep downfield.
There goes.
I'm going to see a flag down.
That's going to be a holding there.
Number 5, Anthony Johnson on the reception.
You guys quit doing that.
And you see the Panthers kind of getting a little excited down there. And it looks like this one. Did I see that right? Holding on the offense on that one.
There's a holding. there. I don't know if he got stuck up when he's trying to get off of him. Sometimes that happens.
Panthers lead 24-20, 5:37 remaining in the third quarter. Following the penalty, it'll be 1st and 20. Bulldogs from their own 34-yard line.
And they're starting to call that quick no huddle also. They're trying to use the Kingwood Park repertoire against them and doing the same thing back at them. They got a 3-back set here, though.
Here's a snap to Frazier.
There you go.
He'll give to number 11 battle.
He's got nothing going there.
And brought down in the backfield, number 34, Eddie Hinojosa on the stop and go for a loss of about 4 or 5 yards on that one.
And just to throw this in there, that Darren Battle, he's a freshman. True freshman. There we go. How you like that? Not that he was an untrue freshman in high school.
Here's a snap. Good pressure right there from the Bulldogs. Woods on the reception. He sheds a
Look at
tackle.
him. There you go.
Across
Good
the
move,
40,
good
the
move,
45, the
there he
50, the
goes.
45, the
Look at
40, the
that.
35. Good
Good
block
job for you,
downfield.
Woods.
30,
Get
20.
there.
We'll see a
we got
flag
on the
thrown.
flag.
Looked like a block in the back
Yeah.
right there as Wood got into the end zone, but a flag thrown at the 26-yard line.
See, and I kept wondering why Doty was throwing those short passes to Woods. Now I see why he was doing it.
Woods can make some moves, no
It
doubt
looked like
about
he
that.
did.
But
Let's see what
unfortunately, this one's going to come
penalty is.
back.
That's a hurt. That's a killer.
And that one will go against the Bulldogs. Unfortunately, after that was a 70-yard touchdown run right there, 74 yards to be exact, negated because of the illegal block in the back right here. At least a good thing it is a spot foul, so it's a first down, and now they're in Kingwood Park territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Bulldogs.
We'll see that play again later on in not this quarter, the next quarter, but that play will be shown again.
There's no doubt about that. Woods has some crafty moves right there. As we actually saw that on the kick return earlier as well.
Yep.
So 1st and 10, 41-yard line. Here's a snap to give to number 11. He takes it just.
That's a freshman right there, but he's in there.
Number 11, Darren Battle. Like he said, the freshman on the carry right there. And he picks up 3 yards on that play, 2nd and 7. As Battle staying in it, running back, Anthony Johnson checking out. And, I just noticed Anthony Johnson's a sophomore as well. So a bright future ahead for these running backs for the Bulldogs.
Correct.
Wide receiver in motion. Here's the snap. Gibbs going to go to number 10, Shoemake, and he steps out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Now, Magnolia's on the offense. They're starting to spread it out a little bit. They're starting to get everything kind of going, pushing to the outside. And I would say that maybe if Anthony Johnson's not feeling well, is he hurt? Is he got something? That was
he wants to get back in. I see him he's standing right there next to his coach, and he tried to jump on that play. And here's a give to the freshman, number 11.
Again,
he's going to sneak up the middle, and Battle's going to get the first down. Picks up 8 yards on that play, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 22-yard line.
Well, that wasn't one of the first plays that they run up the middle this half. Looks like they may have found an answer. There was Johnson in there on that play.
And a screen pass.
Outside.
Oh, man, that was a close one right there.
Shoestring tackle.
Shoemake once again on the reception. Just tripped up by number 10, Babin, for the Panthers. If he hadn't tripped him up right there, he had a free lane to the end zone. He was gone.
You got to give it the credit. Just stick it in there.
So 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap, rolling out of the pocket.
They're getting that.
Frazier throws deep downfield. Touchdown.
Got him, touchdown.
Bulldogs.
See, now you look at Frazier. He's thrown on the run there. That's a hard skill right there. That kid is, as he's rolling out to the sides, he's throwing on the run.
Tough play to make for a high school quarterback, but nonetheless, Carson Nixon on the reception.
Dare I say Tim Tebow-esque?
I agree with you 100%. One of the greatest running quarterbacks in college football history.
Correct.
No doubt about that.
And that's what Frazier, if kind of looking in that form, that's what he's doing.
Snaps down, kick is up, and good.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a football game here.
No doubt about that. With 3:24 remaining in the third quarter, score Magnolia 27, Kingwood Park 24. You're listening to Forrest and Chance on TexanLive.com.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware. and so much more.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium, where the Bulldogs lead at 27-24 after a 99-yard drive right there.
Amazing. Good job for you, Magnolia Bulldogs.
As they keep, it's been back and forth all game long. They lead 27-24, 3:24 remaining in the third quarter. Once again, in to kick it off, number 26, Reed Bowman.
Now, we had said that from the beginning now, that Magnolia was a team that could stick in this football game. And so far we hold true. I'm not telling you every prediction that we're going to make as far as football is going to stand true. But this one happened, so we might take a little credit on that.
I don't blame you. I second that. Here's Bowman's kick downfield. This is a short kick. It'll be fielded at the 25-yard line, across the 30, the 25.
There's opportunities
and
there.
Brought down at the 39-yard line.
They're leaving yards in the field there.
Reed Bauer on the stop for the Bulldogs, and the Panthers will have it 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Good field positioning though right here.
Well, that's what on the special teams on either side, the return team are actually they're taking advantage of it, and it's actually the kick teams that are leaving yards in the field. They're not cleaning that up as well as they should on either side.
And we have seen a lot of that tonight. We've seen, but just like you said, first game, a lot of jitters. So
a double back set there. Rain trying to get around the outside. Can he get there? Can he get there? Can he get there?
And Rain will pick up 6 yards on that one. And I couldn't tell exactly who that was.
It was Reyna, but because that ball covers up his jersey.
Reyna, he's listed at 5'7", 154, but he's probably the biggest target on this team, and he's not scared of anybody.
No, he's not. He'll hit. We saw it earlier. He'll take a hit. He'll give a hit. He'll deliver a blow. He's a good football player right there.
And you saw Purcell trying to throw the offensive line or defensive line off guard right there.
It didn't work, but look at nice playing on the defensive end. They're playing a 3-4 now. Magnolia is, which is not their normal stuff. Hadn't been up to this point.
And here's a snap. And that ball's going to be fumbled. And looks like the Bulldogs have recovered that one. A bad exchange between Purcell and Hurd, and the fumble recovery. Hayden Willis on the play.
Hayden Willis, good man.
And that's not the first time either I've called that name tonight. A lot of these guys, though, these linebacking cores for both sides of the ball continue to fly around. And Kingwood Park with their second turnover of the night, their third fumble.
Yeah, and that's again another opportunity now. That Magnolia is going to come now. They're going to go quick. They're going to jump on this as quick as they can. Want to try to jump out to a little bit bigger lead. But again, I want to flip flop this other. That Kingwood Park team is not a bad football team either.
1st and 10, 38-yard line. Here's a snap.
Look at that blitz. There's a
Good
blitz
pressure
there.
downfield.
Almost got him. That was
take off.
Nice blitz, though. That was the first blitz of tonight by Kingwood Park.
He'll pick up 3 yards on that.
Had two guys coming there on that one.
And that's the first time we've seen Frazier run, but here comes that no-huddle offense. A little offset eye kind of formation with two running backs. Here's the snap. Frazier going to roll out of the pocket, throw downfield. It almost intercepted.
Yeah, that.
Number 8, Michael Woods, the intended target.
It looked like
decent coverage right there, but could have gone either way. That could have been a flag, but could have gone either way. One of those calls.
It's not one of my. It's not my part.
Exactly. Yeah, you're the referee. You know what you see down there. Be 3rd down and 8.
If it isn't big, don't call it.
I second that. 3rd down and 8 for the Bulldogs. Sticking with the same formation, two running backs. Got a tight end in this time. Here's the snap. He's going to look for Woods downfield. He's wide open, and he underthrows him.
But
tried to throw the ball low and just missed Woods. Threw the ball more at his feet, and you can see the coaches down there not happy. And that's going to force the Bulldogs into punt formation. But you look at that, the Panther defense does their job.
Right.
After the fumble, no harm, no foul. But we're going to see if Reed Bowman can't pin the Panthers deep in their own territory. That was a little bit of a tongue twister right there.
Well, let's say, again, you could do the same thing here to Kingwood Park. Maybe make Kingwood Park have to go 99 yards.
So Bowman in punt formation. Mills back deep to return. Here's the snap.
Heels
it's right on
10.
target. Here's the kick. Looks like this
Heels
one.
on the 10. Let that go.
Across the 10, he's going to try to get to the outside. Across the 15, a flag thrown, 2 flags thrown. And he'll step out of bounds at the 15-yard line. But you know what? I'll take that as Bowman doing his job, because after the penalty, that is going to pin him 10 yards deeper. That's going to put him about the 5-yard line.
Yes, it is.
Oh, we're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. Bulldogs lead the Panthers 27-24 with 1:48 remaining in the third quarter.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's nimble and fluid. But sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our Iron Man Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Bulldogs lead the Panthers 27-24, minute 48 left here in the third quarter. Panthers pinned deep in their own territory at the 7-yard line. They're in goal line formation. Here's a snap, and it's a bad one. And Purcell's going to be brought down at the 5 for a 2-yard loss.
It took everything he had to have. Probably should be happy with that, because it took everything he had to get the handle back on that thing and get it under control and keep
Exactly.
possession.
At least you held on to that ball, because that could have been a scoop and soar, 6 points right there. And then that clock. Third quarter. And once again, another goal line set, stacking everybody on the line of scrimmage. He's going to look for Reyna downfield. Here's the throw. In triple coverage. Wide open.
He got it.
Across
Look
the 50,
at that kid
the 45,
go.
the 40, the 30, the 20,
Matthew
the 10,
Reyna.
the
Good
5.
for you, son.
Touchdown,
Good for
Panthers.
You, son. Matthew Reyna.
Matthew Reyna.
Who you go to?
Number 2.
You
No
go to
doubt. In
you go to your
triple
playmaker.
coverage at that right there.
You go to your playmaker.
And not bad coverage. Just a great play by Reyna. He used his speed. He used it as advantage, able to break a tackle, and the Panthers take the lead again. And it just keeps this back and forth ball game continues.
You're watching 2 good football teams in front of each other.
But I think I agree with you when you say I can see both these teams making the playoffs in their respective districts. They both have great talent. If both teams can correct the little mistakes they've made tonight, they could be deadly side of the offense. Both sides of the ball.
Now, I would say that Kingwood Park has got a little kind of a tough road to Crosby in their district. Because Crosby a juggernaut, but again, you never know. You got to play the games.
Here's the snap. The kick is up and good.
But yes, either one of these teams, both they just showed right here. Kingwood Park can strike like lightning. They need to. They can also, Magnolia comes methodically down the field. I mean, what else do you want in a football game than this? You get a 90-yard run, and then you get one that straight. This is Texas high school football at its best.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and it's exactly like you said, though. It's just been a fantastic game tonight, and this is just the kickoff. We still have many more games to come to you this season on Texan Live. Of course, you'll see a lot of Humble ISD games. You'll see Pearland games. You'll see Katy ISD games, Cy-Fair. So big things to come this year for Texan Live, and of course, you'll see more K Park games. So I look forward to covering these guys. I'm really impressed with their offense and what Coach Maple's done. If you can just wipe out some of those penalties.
Kingwood Park's a good football team. And again, we'll go back to Magnolia, and I don't want to count them out because they do have a very stout defense. I think that Kingwood Park's offense is very impressive.
There's no doubt about that. If they keep this high-energy pace going, they'll be tough to stop. Be interesting to see when if still got a long way before they play Crosby, but it'll be interesting to see as you see that interesting kickoff formation right there that could go into an onside kick. But, that Crosby-Kingwood Park game could be a showdown.
Could be, and then you got C.E. King in that same district who's
they're no slouch either. You're right.
So this could end up being, first game of the season, but I'm excited already.
And Flaherty going to boot this one deep. Wood's going to take it out after he just crossed the line of the end zone, crossed the 10, and kind of a mistake right there on Wood's part as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. He fielded that ball in the end zone. Probably should have needed, but hey, He may have seen something we
He's a
didn't.
playmaker, and that's what he's thinking like. He's thinking like a playmaker.
Coach-
That kid's got a pretty stride, and he can run. That's a galloping kid.
Oh, you saw it on that screen pass last play that the flag was thrown on. You know, a break for the Panthers right there, because if that doesn't happen, you don't get the fumble or you don't get the punt return deep in your area, and then you don't throw the strike
Right.
downfield. So but we've seen both sides catch some breaks tonight.
Both sides catch some breaks and then take the opportunities of those breaks.
Exactly. 59 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Panthers lead 31-27. Frazier in the shotgun. Here's the snap.
Yep.
Number 2, Mason on the reception. And he'll pick up 4 yards on that one. And then Reese Mason, one we've called his name. He looks like he's
Quietly having
been
a great game himself.
he's been Frazier's favorite target tonight. So 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. And here's the snap. Gives to
In the middle battle.
and the freshman picks just shy of the first down. He'll pick up 4 on that. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
No, we might have miscalled that. I don't know if that was bad.
Looked like number
Elijah Jenkins, number 33.
his first carry of the night. As you've seen, the Bulldogs trade running backs in and out all night long as Johnson's back into the game now at tailback. Here's a snap to give up to middle, and that's an easy first down for Johnson. He blew right over the Panther defender right there.
Knocked him out of his shoes.
He's lit. He's not even kidding. You see him holding his shoe and his hand down there. But nonetheless, 1st and 10, ball at the 26-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter with the score Panthers 31, Bulldogs 27. We're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
And welcome back out to Texan Live's coverage of the Panthers, Kingwood Park Panthers, and the Magnolia Bulldogs. We want to thank our sponsor, the City of Katy, for bringing you the fourth quarter tonight. Check out cityofkaty.com for all the latest news and events for Katy, Texas. Small town charm with a big convenience. Of course, Katy Tigers, one of the schools we're covering this year. They're taking on the Kingwood Panthers, or the Kingwood Mustangs tonight, 46-0 victory. That game has gone final. Katy definitely a force to be reckoned with. Frazier in the shotgun. Here's a snap to gives to number 5, Johnson, and maybe pick up 2 yards right there.
Now, it does look like that Magnolia's using that running back by committee, and I don't know if that's by design or for production reasons. They seem to be wanting to run the ball, but again, I can't decide it. If they're running it for production purposes or just fresh leg purposes.
Well, definitely, you've seen him use 3 running backs tonight. Here's the snap. Frazier's going to
on
keep it and
purpose.
go up the middle.
That was a design play there too. Be careful with that.
Little draw right there, but he kind of took a shot. And I saw the referee. It looks like he's going to be all right. He's getting back up, moving around.
That's a pretty important young man that you want out there.
He's been solid all night tonight, no doubt about that.
Very well.
Both sides of the ball, though, for both teams have played exceptionally well to be 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Frazier once again in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers on one side, 1 on the other side. Frazier looks over at the coach for a sign. It's going to be a bad snap.
Keep going. There's no whistle.
There's no whistle been blown. And that's a fumble right there that's going to be, looks like it's going to be recovered by the Panthers. Confusion from the Bulldogs sidelines. We'll have to see officially what happens right here, but that was just a weird play right there. And
you got Doty's all the way out here on the field, almost to the hash mark here on that.
The question is, did the referees ever start the play clock? And what did the center hear that
made him snap the ball.
I mean, there's no telling down there.
This is a mess here to unwrap here.
Coach Maple wants an explanation as well, but it looks like it's going to stay 3rd down and 5, which is I never saw the play clock start.
No, I didn't either, and I didn't see it. So the center inadvertently.
The play clock started before the ready to play. Therefore, we have a dead ball redo.
So the play clock started before the referees even signaled for it, and you probably the center probably heard the referee saying ball, ball, ball,
Right.
probably to respot something down there. But nonetheless, 3rd down and 5. Either way you look at it, Bulldogs still have the football. And looks like Coach Dottie's still looking for an explanation over there. As here he comes out to the numbers to try to talk to the referees. Are we going to get a timeout right here? A little bit of confusion from both sides.
Still trying to finish that.
And they're going to add some more time to the game clock. Go from 11:08 to 11:20.
That's what he was trying to get, is a game clock reset. It was a little kind of confusion right there, and I think it was just an inadvertent snap.
3rd down and 5. Here's the snap to Frazier. He's going to roll out to the left. Here's the throw downfield, and he just overthrows number 10, Shoemake.
That is a tough throw. To throw like that on the run, that is a very tough throw. And that kid has been doing a great job of doing that. So well that they continue to call it because he is able to execute that play, just not on this one.
That'll bring up 4th down after the incomplete pass. Bulldogs lining up in punt formation. Bowman once again in to do the kicking. Mills back deep to return.
So we can get a solid punt here.
And both sides, though, have kind of had some trouble.
Again, special teams is another one of those things we haven't seen special teams on in any facet when it have not been.
And this is a good one right here. Mills going to field this one at the 25. He's across the 25. No room to go, but he'll make escape across the 30 and down at the 32-yard line, excuse me.
Well, unfortunately, with you don't have enough time, when your practices. So your special teams are the thing you practice the least. So that's your kickoff formations, your kick return formations, your punt formations, your field goal.
And we're going to take a quick timeout here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest and Chance.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day.
And sorry about that quick delay right there. There's a give to Reyna, and he's going to pick up 5 yards on that play.
All right, now, is there any way that they haven't used Reyna? I mean, is there any
to the left side, to the right side, deep passes, short
running the
passes,
football,
anything.
deep,
This kid can do it all.
Is there any that is a Swiss Army knife right there. That is a Swiss Army knife football player.
Great tool to have your Coach Maple. Here's a snap. This one's going to be
Look at that.
completed and down across the 50-yard line.
Short, it stretches out because they're all respecting Reyna, so they're all covering and backing up with him. That leaves that lane wide open, giving them their 5-10 yards without getting touched.
Benson on the reception for the Panthers.
You know his name we haven't called in a while. We haven't called Spencer Nye. We negated him almost. And he's still, that's a heck of they're double teaming him.
Here's the snap. Give to number 31, Hurd.
He's still in that play right there. As soon as we don't call him, what does he do?
He made that never fails. You know that's how it works. And Hurd will pick up a yard.
Now they try to run at him. Thinking, well, maybe there's one piece in that powder cake. There is it. You want to try to test that kid? He's right there. As soon as we call him.
But just like you said, Chance, Kingwood Park keeps doing a good job. Just these short pass plays and moving the ball down the field, getting the ball out of their hands quickly. Here's the snap.
That's too long.
And looks like he's going to cough up that football, but he's going to recover it. As Purcell fumbled that one, just slipped off the edge of the fingertips. But it's going to be fumbled and recovered.
He's got a second and a half to 2 seconds to get rid of that ball. As soon as he does it, Magnolia's on him. Without fail. That is a sign of a good football team. You run towards 9, he's going to get you. You make a mistake, they're going to get you.
And they've been getting pressure back to him all night long. When just like you said, though, 2 seconds, that's it. It's got to be out. But they've executed the game plan. Here's a snap, looking downfield, and he's going to overthrow Sweeney. And that'll bring up 4th down and force the Panthers into punt formation. 9 minutes left to go. Great job, great stand right there for the Bulldogs.
Next time you come up, I want to keep an eye on Bobby Baker, the defensive back for Magnolia. Number 3.
And Baker's, he's had good coverage all night long.
Coverage. He's getting ready to jump around, though.
So Mills once again in punting formation for the Panthers. Woods once again back deep. And we both know Woods has got speed and Woods has got move. This could be a deadly combination right here. Here's the snap. It's in the dirt. But Mills able to field it, and he drills this one. And a great bounce down at the 5-yard line or 6-yard line. A textbook punt right there, and a textbook bounce. It took a Panther bounce, but hey, whatever way you can get it, right?
Well, as we're just talking about special teams being the least practiced, I mean, these last couple of punts now have been outstanding. So, shame on what you say.
Never fails.
Here it comes. Well, here you go. Now you got Magnolia deep again. Now they've proven that they have the arsenal in their playbooks to move this ball 90 yards, 95 yards.
And if I'm the Panthers, I'm watching out for number 8 on a slip screen or just a short little pass play. We know they'll go to it. And here's a snap. Frazier going to not the best throw right there, intended for Carson Nixon.
Disaster from the beginning.
So 2nd down and 10. Just barely underthrew Nixon right there.
2 wide out at the bottom of the screen. 2 tight ends in. That's a pretty
different formation right there.
Oh, there you go. Well, now we know why they did that formation.
And the 4th running back of the night, Lance Lowry, in for the 9-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd and 1. We'll see if the Panthers can't make a special stop right here and force a punting situation. Still plenty of time left in this ball game. 8:33 as the clock continues to wind down. Panthers lead 31-27.
They're running the ball here.
And exactly. If I'm Coach Dottie, I'm giving the ball to number 5. I'm giving it to Johnson. That's your money man. See if
they're a tight formation. They don't know where to go, though. This is not a normal formation for them. This is an odd formation for them. They call timeout.
And they're called a timeout, and you see Coach Dottie throw his script right there. He's not happy about having to burn that
here's
one.
The deal. The coach needs to take a little bit of step back. He's asking them to run a play that they have not run yet. They're obviously a team that throws the football a lot and they spread it out. They're trying to spread it. They don't know where to set up. You're at the first game of the season, and these kids are 14, 15, 16 years old.
I agree with you 100% right there. And you just like you said, you've seen them run 2 wide receivers or 3 wide receivers on one side. Sometimes they're running 2 backs, but they haven't hardly been in a goal line formation all night long, and that's basically what you're calling that right there.
That's what they're trying to do there. So neither one of those tight ends can get set on their deal because neither one of them knew exactly where to be. And they're trying to run it no huddle, so there's no time to go in there, where should I be, what should I do, where do I set up? So you have no time to check with your quarterback to ask where you should be, which would be your normally instinct in those situations. So, I get, you're in a pressure situation, you're trying to get this done, you're trying to win a football game. Believe me, we get all that.
But they're going to stick with the same formation, keeping Johnson in the backfield. But I think we know where the ball's going here. But
double motion here. Yeah, we know where the ball's going. We're going down there. Here it comes. Right there.
At number 5, Johnson.
Oh, he's got it.
And this one's going to be a close spot, but it looks like with the second effort, he powered past the first down marker. As good stand, though, right there for the Panthers. They almost had that one.
And they never got, none of that deception worked for the Panthers. They stayed straight on. None of the deception worked.
So they'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 18.5-yard line.
There's an awful lot of window dressing and drapes.
And now we go back to the 3 wide receiver one.
Normal formations.
Here's a snap give to, I think that was number 28, Lowry.
There's Lowry, and now you're getting Lowry some carries. This has got to be part of his. part of his repertoire is that he's just fresh backs.
And you know as good as I do, too. It's still, like you said, it's early in the season. These 4 games over the next 4 weeks don't count for anything. Keep everybody healthy. See what you have. See who can really help you. So here's the snap. Woods in motion. He's going to give to Woods. Woods across the 25, across the 30. He'll pick up the first down. And he definitely has a pair of legs on him. Picks up 8 yards or 7. No, that is 8 yards on that one. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line.
And he's one of the ones. Just what Reyna means to Kingwood Park, Woods means to Magnolia. When they need a big play,
they go to him, and there's no doubt about that. But you see, Magnolia kind of slowing down their offensive pace right here, hoping maybe just to punch this one in and take as much time off of the clock as you can. And Frazier going to fake it. Here's the deep throw downfield. He's wide open. Number 42, Robbie Smothers, his first catch of the night. And the play action right there, Panthers bit.
They bit off the play action, exactly. Bit off the play action, sucked them all in.
And good for a Bulldog first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Panthers' 31-yard line.
That was a linebacker covering.
A definite mismatch. Here's the snap. And looking for Lowry downfield. This one complete to him in the flat. And he's turned upside down, but not before he picks up 8 yards on that one.
Magnolia gets a big play out of that, and they're going to punch it in here. Now, they can run the ball the rest of the year. I think that's Magnolia is capable, but they're going to go for it here. They're going to go in the end zone.
Here's a snap to Frazier. Good pressure. He's going to dump it off, and it's dropped just in and out of the hands.
That play was intended for the end zone.
But flag down on the field. 2 flags, 1 on each side. This one may go off sides, looking where the flags are thrown.
The intention of that last play was to go deep. It was a check down there to the running back, but they were going for the end zone there.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, 53. 5-yard penalty.
Normally when you have an ineligible offensive lineman and an ineligible receiver, it's mostly during screens and things like that. That didn't look like during screen run.
Maybe
I don't know how far he got down.
Different mistake right there, but we're going to have a timeout, Panthers, and we're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. Magnolia Bulldogs down 27-31, but threatening as they're in Panther territory. 2nd and 7 from the 29-yard line. And once again, staying in there at running backs, the freshman Darren Battle. And we've constantly seen Magnolia switch those running backs, use 4 different ones tonight already.
Always running them in and out. You got a tight end in there, which is not a normal set for them. It hadn't been.
And here's the snap. Frazier looking downfield. This one complete.
There you go.
Ridge Mason, the tight end, on the reception. Exactly, in a different formation, and sure enough, what do? They use the tight end and they go to him. That'll be good for a Bulldog first down, 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. As they're really starting to slow this offensive pace down now that they're in the red zone. Take as much time as you can off the clock. Frazier in the shotgun. Here's the snap. He's going to give to Battle.
Look at that kid.
And good moves by Battle. And he coughs up the football. I can't tell who recovered it, but Battle got taken out of the legs. And the Bulldogs able to fall on top of it as the ball rolls out of bounds right there. But Battle does pick up the first down. Still a young freshman.
He's a young freshman, right. I mean, he's 14 years old.
And you know,
he was playing middle school before that.
And people don't realize how much of a jump that is.
Right, and now he's playing 5A varsity football in the greater Houston area.
There's no joke, especially with some of the districts that are the teams he's going to be playing in the future. And even not taking anything away from Key Park, they played in a phenomenal game tonight too. So it's going to be 2nd down and 1, and they're going to line up in this goal line formation again. Johnson in at running back now.
Yeah, that's a new formation there for him as well. See what comes out of that.
Here's a snap to give to Johnson right up the middle. Good for a first down.
Now I would say this Magnolia this is now a 95-yard run, a 99-yard one. They've been in at least 5 or 6 different formations all the way through this. They're mixing it up quite a bit.
Coach Dottie doing a good job of that tonight. Now be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line and see if they go back to that goal line formation. Looks like they are again, and shift some more guys around. Different look you're seeing right here out of the Bulldogs that we've seen all night.
Another new look.
They're going to shift 2 guys again, a running back and a tight end. Johnson once again in the backfield. Wood's going to go in motion. Here's a snap up the middle to Johnson. He's going to try to bust his way up the middle, and he's going to get across the goal line. Touchdown, Bulldogs. They take the lead again, and this slugging match continues.
I don't know what else you could ask for.
Great opening game. I mean, exactly. You couldn't ask for more.
Right. Couldn't ask for more. And again, 2 good football teams. I want to make sure these are 2 good football teams.
And, of course, we cover Kingwood Park all season long here on TexanLive.com, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more Panther games.
Oh, I am too. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this thing.
Bauman lined up in PAT formation. Here's a snap down. Kick is up and good. So with 5:35 remaining in the game, the Bulldogs take a 34-31 lead. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond on TexanLive.com.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium and Texan Live's coverage of the Magnolia Bulldogs versus the Kingwood Park Panthers. And a great drive, momentum shifting possible right there for the Bulldogs.
I don't know if that's momentum shifting. I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But I just think that they keep going. That throttle right now is right now in red line. It is 5.5 red line. These teams are both going back and forth. I mean, very easily, as soon as Kingwood Park gets the ball, boom. It is, and these aren't bad defenses either.
Both teams playing exceptionally well games tonight. Great opening game. And we thank you for joining us here on Texan Live. As you've got 5:35 remaining in this game. Reed Bowman in to kick it off. And here's the kick. Another short kick. This will be returned, fielded at the 23-yard line. And, yeah, exactly. Nothing there. Brought down at the 25. Noah Blomberg on the stop for the Bulldogs.
Special teams, it's the least practiced. So it's kind of the last thing that you do before. A lot of times, you have a Thursday game, so a lot of times in their warm-up. Friday, the Thursdays is actually would be like the dress rehearsals, and that's when you do a lot of your special teams.
Right. And you scrimmaged Friday. You took the whole weekend off to start school. Then you just got to practice Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday you walked through. That's a tough week. Here's a snap that gives to Reyna. He sheds a tackle, and able to make a move. Great moving right there, but I do see a flag down there on the field too. May get a hold against the Panthers as these penalties have been stacking up. I think we're up to about their 15th, 16th penalty of the night. This one is going to go against the Panthers, waiting on the official call. Send it down to the field. before the official call.
Illegal block in the back, number 16 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
So you heard that illegal block in the back right there against the Panthers. That'll set the ball back 10 yards, which is not what you wanted to see if you're Coach Maple in this situation. You can't commit an error like that. I mean, the time is ticking.
Yeah, it is. You're at 5 minutes. You're a 3-point deficit. You need a touchdown.
And here's a snap to give once again to number 31, Hurd. He'll pick up 3 yards on that one. And who did you see on that stop? None other than Spencer Nye, forcing his way through that offensive line.
It's hard to run up the middle, man.
And you hear that Magnolia Bulldog crowd starting to come alive, getting a little excited over there after being down 16-0 at the start of this game. Here's a snap.
That was a tough snap.
And
Who is it?
Number
Spencer
1,
Nye.
Spencer Nye, second sack of the night. But there we go back to the 3-second rule. All night long, the defensive line for the Bulldogs have been outstanding.
Right. And you bobble that snap. As soon as you bobble that snap, he's got to get the laces up. He's got a minute. He's got a second. That's got to be that timing's got to be. That's how much pressure Magnolia's defensive line puts on, and that's how good Spencer Nye is.
So it'll be 3rd and long. 3rd and 20 right here to be exact. And if you're Kingwood Park, you have to convert
This play is
here.
in their arsenal, though. This play is in their arsenal.
Here's the snap. You're going to try a screen to Reyna. Nothing going. No gain.
Couldn't clear that out. On that play, it's designed. You got to clear those out, and it just didn't work out.
And that'll bring up 4th down. And
You know why that didn't work out that way? Spencer Nye sat down.
And Spencer Nye forced to be working with tonight. Zach Mills lining up once again for the Panthers in punt formation. Michael Woods back deep. We'll see if Mills can't boom another one right here. 2 great punts his last 2 attempts. You need one if you're the Panthers right here. Here's the snap. And flags are going to fly prior to the snap. They're going to get the Panthers for a false start right here. And that'll back the ball 5 yards up. And, man, these mistakes just keep adding up for the Panthers tonight.
This is the 3rd one on this series alone?
And you can't do it this late in the game either.
And not being in a deficit, no.
So 4th down once again. We'll try this again. Mills in punt formation. Woods back deep. Here's the snap. Kick is up. And this is another booming punt. Woods is going to let this one go. Probably a smart decision on this part, not rolling as far. That'll be down to at the 40-yard line. Another great punt right there by Woods. Net of 40 yards right there.
Well, I see, again, Magnolia here, they got 3 minutes left in the game. They're up by 3. They've got to put some insurance points here on this board. Because we've seen Kingwood Park can score like lightning. So Magnolia's got to take some time out of the clock, and they've got to kind of methodically move. No turnovers, no penalties, and nothing absent-minded.
And we've seen the Panthers force a couple turnovers tonight. Here's the snap.
There you go, right there.
And they give up the middle.
Kingwood Park does a few things like that. You get it up the middle, they shut that down.
Lowry on the carry that time for the Bulldogs. Loss of a yard. As that clock continues to run down inside 3 minutes now for the ball game.
Kingwood Park right here needs to somebody's gonna make a play for them. You get one of these guys making a play.
And we've seen a couple playmakers tonight for the Panthers. So 2nd down and 11. Frazier in the shotgun. Here's a snap. Looking downfield. He'll dump off to Jackson. But that ball's fumbled, or actually incomplete, in and out of his hands. It looked like he may have had possession, but either way, it escaped out of bounds. So 3rd down and 11 now for the Bulldogs.
Come out a little bit quicker. Kingwood Park's getting a little pressure on it this time.
Indeed they are. 3rd and long, though. And this is what you need if you're the Panthers. See if you can't hold your ground right here. They may try to get you with a freeze. But 3rd, here's a snap that gives to number 5, Johnson. and he keeps moving his feet, and he's way across the first down line, and he's got more down into Panthers territory across the 38-yard line, and that may seal the deal right here with 2:28 remaining in the game. Great run by the sophomore Johnson, though, but just like you said, stepping up when they needed him. He fumbled earlier, led to a Panther touchdown, but now that was a crucial first down.
Yeah, that one's going to be a backbreaker. And Kingwood Park on this. Now they're going to have to look for basically an interception. They're going to have to look for a fumble. I don't think they're going to be passing the ball anymore for the rest of the game. Magnolia's done that. They don't need to.
I second that. Especially with the way Johnson's been running the ball. Just give it to him, make him force it up the middle. But now checking in, back in, there's a freshman battle at running back. Back in that goal line formation, too. Very tight bunch for him.
They're trying to milk that clock.
And almost inside of 2 minutes. Here's the give to the freshman battle. He blasted up the middle.
4 or 5 yards that game.
Gained 4 yards that time. And we are officially inside 2 minutes now.
4 yards 3 times. It's a first down.
And if you're the Panthers, despite the fact you got 2 timeouts, it looks like we're actually going to have an injury timeout on the field. We're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey. And then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside.
And Frazier's going to try to keep her up the middle. He'll pick up about 4 yards on that one.
4 yards 3 times.
And either way, I think it looks like Panthers are going to call a timeout. They're going to use their second timeout of the night. But nonetheless, win-loss, either way, you saw it as good as I do. Both sides have a lot to clean up, but also a lot of positives from both sides tonight as well.
Both teams played offensively, played with full arsenals as far as everything. I mean, they threw kitchen sinks at each other. Kitchen sinks were thrown at each other, trying to get scores, trying to generate points. Both those teams, I mean, offensively played outstanding, and new stars were born tonight. Defensively, the same thing. That's why these offenses had to throw everything out, because their defenses were playing very stifling in the first half. Everything was coming, and they had to figure out different ways to be able to beat each other. This was a chess match we watched, not checkers.
I second that. What more could you ask if you're both coaches out of tonight's game? And a great game to call. And, of course, don't forget, you can listen to us a bunch more this year. We'll be covering a lot of Kingwood Park games, especially with the way they played tonight. Really impressed me. Not sure what to expect out of the Panthers. I know new regime, that also comes with a new mindset this year. It seems like they're responding very well.
I expect them to do well. These two teams, and I know we keep saying it over and over again, but we were 2 good football teams to play each other. These teams are both
Third down and 4, motion.
offsides.
And you saw both sides jump at the same time. We'll see what they get them for. It could go either way.
Could go either.
But it looks like no flag there might have been there was a timeout called before the snap. And Kingwood Park's going to take their final timeout. As you saw, I'm sure you folks at home, you saw the nose guard and one of the guards jump almost instantaneously at the same time. But either way, no avail, nothing going there. Don't worry about it. It's over, it's done with. You got 1:22 minutes left this game to try to make a stop right here. Panthers trail, 31-34, 1:22 left in the ball game. They are officially out of timeouts. It's third and short. Third down and 4 to be exact. We see if the Panthers can't make a stop right here.
I think you're going to see the same. You're going to be in a tight full set formation. And I don't think you're going to see here. They need the first down. Magnolia first. They can't afford to give the football up. They can't by fumble, by punt, by anything. They need this first down. Magnolia does. If you're Kingwood Park, you get a stop here. You get a stop and you get themselves a punt, and then you put Rain out of work.
And you know as good as I do, Chance. We saw it in the first half more than anything. That Kingwood Park offense has the ability to move fast.
It does. That's what.
And
they can get the ball. If they get the ball back, they have an opportunity to win this game. But they got to get the ball back. They need to stop right here.
or they could even get in field goal range, and we could tie this game, and we could see an overtime battle to start the season right.
That would be glorious.
We'll see what has to happen. It's 3rd down and 4. Panthers need a stop right here. As Coach Maple trying to talk, he was talking to the line judge about something, going to bring the referees together, see if we can't find out what's going on down there. Not sure. We've seen all 4 of them get together as the teams back off the line of scrimmage. I didn't see anything down there. I mean, Coach Maples, obviously he's down on the field level, but I'm sure he sees plenty that we don't see. And you see all the defensive coaches are on the field, and they all saw something. And you see Coach Maple almost out there to the hash marks.
He's already out there. I'm thinking because I'm trying to figure out what they got going on here.
And you can see Coach Dottie over there. He's upset. He's got his hat off. He's not happy about something either. So I'm sure the referee will give us some sort of explanation. Just have to figure out what's going on. But they changed the down marker to 4th down. Are they going to call maybe sideline interference or something of that nature?
I didn't see any of the flags though to be able to call that.
But you see as good as I do down there. They've changed the down marker to 4th down now. So.
They're going to take a second off the clock, put it at 4th down.
1:21 on the clock. No explanation from the referee what's going on, but it is 4th down now, and we'll have to see what happens right here.
About 4 yard. And you're going to see a tight formation here.
And you're going to see
Dottie's
going to call a timeout, and he wants that referee. He's not even going to his team. He's looking at that referee.
They're trying to figure out what happened there because they lost it down and they lost time off the clock, but they're not.
We're not sure what happened, folks, but we're going to take a quick timeout here before the end of this ball game. You're listening to Forrest Cox and Chance Bond on TexanLive.com.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Welcome back out to Texan Live coverage of the Kingwood Park and Magnolia Bulldog game here at Turner Stadium on the lovely campus of Humble ISD. 1:21 remaining in the game, 4th down for the Bulldogs as they are going for it, trying to end this ball game right here. Here's a snap. Big snap. And he's going to get across the 1st down marker. No, they went directly to the receiver, Reese Mason.
Direct snap. They run that direct snap coming to the other side.
Not the first time we've seen that tonight.
They ran a touchdown last time they did it.
Exactly. And that's going to wind this clock down as soon as this ball gets set. Look for the Bulldogs probably line up in victory formation right here as the Panthers are out of timeouts. And don't forget, folks, after the game, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have a couple commercials, and then we're going to bring you back. We'll have a scoreboard update from around the area, and then we'll recap this game. And, of course, we appreciate all you listening to us tonight, and we want to thank our great sponsors as well. TexanDrive.com, Cerna Insurance Agency, Memorial Herman Northeast, City of Katy, Panera Bread, Tin Roof, and Allspa's Ace Hardware. We're going to have another timeout here. We're not going to go to break this time, though. But just like we talked earlier, Chance, you can't take anything away from both these teams. Win-loss for the Panthers, win-loss for the Bulldogs. What a game from both sides.
Now, this has been an outstanding game. You can't take anything away. There were some mistakes made, but again, it's the first game of the season. I think he cleaned those up. But these were two heavyweight teams playing each other. These teams will be teams you have to reckon with in the future. These teams are gonna wreck some shops.
No doubt about that. And of course, don't forget, folks, you can hear several of the K Park games here live on TexanLive.com. We look forward to hearing from you guys. And Bulldogs are going to line up in victory formation. Look for them to just take a knee right there. And Frazier's going to take a knee, but he's kind of knocked down after the play. No flags thrown. But that's going to keep the clock rolling, as he's going to probably have to take one more knee, and that'll end this ball game. Fantastic game.
Second difference between the game clock and the play clock. 3 seconds. So yes, you're gonna have to take one more.
Just one more knee, and bright futures ahead for both these teams. No doubt about that. Frazier's gonna take the knee, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's your ball game, folks. Final score: Magnolia Bulldogs 34 after being down 16-0. They beat the Kingwood Park Panthers 34-31. We're going to take a quick break here on Texan Live. Don't forget, we'll have a scoreboard update. Then we're going to recap this game.
Cerna is a local family-owned business located right on Will Clayton and a one-stop shop for your home, auto, liability, and business insurance needs. Cerna is a local family-owned business located right on Will Clayton and a one-stop shop for your home, auto, liability, and business insurance needs. Please stop in or give us a call at 281-812-9775. We're also proud to support all of the Humble ISD athletes.
And welcome back out to Turner Stadium. This ball game's gone final. Final score: Magnolia Bulldogs 34, Kingwood Park Panthers 31. A couple scoreboard updates from around the Houston area. Spring Lions defeat the Aldine Davis Falcons 17-7. Waller Bulldogs defeat the Waltrip Rams 16-6. It's the Porter Spartans over the Caney Creek Panthers 42-7. Goose Creek Memorial over Tom Ball Memorial 14-12. And Westside loses to Lamar in the final seconds 15-16. And, of course, the one big game we were covering as well tonight, the Katy Tigers slaughtered the Kingwood Mustangs 46-0. What a game over there. And don't forget, you can hear all the Katy Tiger games here live on TexanLive.com as well. But I'm going to throw it back over to my co-host. What a game tonight, partner. You couldn't have asked for a better game from both sides.
No, absolutely an outstanding game. And all those situations, each one of those teams kept bringing themselves back. Each time that they were down, they kept pulling themselves out of whatever despair that they were in. Every mistake they overcame, every opportunity that they took advantage of. You come down to a game that it comes down to one play with a minute left. Out of all of that, it's amazing. You gotta love football.
No doubt about that. You got to not just football. You got to love Texas high school football. There's nothing like it in the state.
Nothing like it in the country.
No doubt at all. Great night, great game. And, of course, folks, don't forget, like I said earlier, we'll have several more Kingwood Park Panther games. And I'm sure you'll be back with me this year. I'm looking forward to covering these guys.
I'm looking forward to covering K Park. I got Atascocita versus Clear Falls tomorrow night.
That'll be another good game. Atascocita coming off a 9-1 season in the first round loss to the Spring Lions last year. They're definitely coming out for revenge tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens. From my co-host, Chance, my name's Forrest Cox signing off. Thank you for listening to us, ladies and gentlemen. You have a good night.